Alright guys, and welcome back to Dope Check. It's episode number 39 today. The CDL is officially back in business. We have had a banger set of 12 matches this past weekend. Ace isn't even in his chair for some reason. I don't know what's going on right now. He's going to be back in a second for all this TikTok grinding, but we had big drama on the weekend. OpTic played Cloud9. It was all going down. Are Los Angeles Thieves the best team in the game by a country mile? Do we have a one-team league? Shotzzy seems to believe they're by far and away the best team. Who is going to challenge them, if anyone, this season? FaZe starting 0-2. Lots of talking points today. Trey, how's it going? I have one co-host, it seems. Before I ran the intro, I had two. Oh, no, it's over. It's over. Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
You got two, baby. I just been setting up in here.
This is my last show. Never.
For those who don't know, listening, we've gone live on TikTok and we've just been sent 15 roses by Austin Brandt. So Ace is our resident TikTok NPC and he's live in public right now. It's all over.
For the roses.
It's just so over.
Ooh, they smell so nice.
It's so over.
Ooh, they smell so nice.
My life is over.
Okay,
what are we doing?
We're live though. I got to kill. Okay. Trey, how you feeling, man? Talk to him because I'm out here. Okay.
Do you want to make money watching the best Call of Duty players in the world? 1v1me is your answer, a platform that allows you to stake on the best players in the world and features leagues across multiple titles, Madden, 2K, UFC, Call of Duty of course, and many more. It's like DraftKings, but for esports. Find the game that you want to stake on, research the players, back the player you think's going to win, and if they win, you win. It's as simple as that. 1v1me has paid out nearly $50 million in earnings so far, and they're only just getting started with nearly 200 matches per week that you can stake on. There's always something to get involved in, and every single game is live streamed on the app with real-time referees, so you can be sure nobody is cheating. Anyone can tune in. If you're 18 or over, feel free to get involved with a link in the description box below. 1v1me's been doing some great stuff in the Call of Duty space for years now. If this sounds interesting to you, have a look and check them out.
What do you mean? How do I feel?
Secondhand cringe.
I've got NPC Stocksman sniffing imaginary roses in public at a internet cafe.
Got a problem with
that? I got a problem with Shotzzy the best team in the game.
Oh, I like that.
Because we saw some things, didn't we?
We did see some things.
And I think Ace didn't Ace say he was going to do something?
Oh shit. Okay, well I guess it's my turn to say how I feel. This weekend was very telling. It was very telling, and it was an opening weekend that had a lot of surprises that were, I don't know, a little bit, very shocking. One of them being Boston beating OpTic, which I said I was going to shave my head if that happened. I'm going to put that one in my pocket, save it for a little bit, and I'll do it eventually. However, again, I think there's some players who this game is not built for, and I think there's some guys in this game who are absolutely made for Black Ops 6. So I think that's going to be a big talking point of the day. We got some new updates in the game. We got some drama with servers. You know, it's always exciting for opening weekend, but there's been some drama, some excitement, some upsets. So I'm ready to talk COD for today.
Yeah, let's dive into it, ladies and gentlemen, because we had some big games of the weekend. Before we get there, let's talk about the update, which has just dropped into the game, because they've changed Black Ops 6 again. The Jackal, the ARs, they've been changed. I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, Ace, but Cammy is like, yeah, I'm out of here. The Jackal's even better. I have seen this clip going around. This is Havoc on stream. Hello? And this is, well, apparently there's no recall on the Aims or the Jackal. So I'm a little bit confused. What exactly have they changed? And why have they ruined the game again?
So essentially, another thing I saw as well is that, I believe it was Dante Sib who tweeted it out, was that the Jackal has a better range now than the AR does. So a sub having a better range than the AR, I don't know, classic Call of Duty early patch, early nerf, mess ups, and developer just brain deadness is just happening again and again. There's been other games where we've had this happen at the start of it. Hopefully they fix it soon. Hopefully this is not one of those ones that people have to scrim now for the whole week and we play a set of matches with this. So I don't know. I think it's almost expected, right? Bad maps, early development, mess ups. It's just the early course of Call of Duty, man. Welcome to the beginning of the cycle. It's like start of the year. Trey, I mean, you can speak on it for sure. How the start of these games usually go.
Yeah, I mean, for the no recoil thing, I'm pretty sure it's just visual recoil. Secondly, like, you know, let a plumber with 4 kids go into the firing range and shoot the Amers and Jackal and see if it's got no recoil. You know, these are pro players. Even if the gun did have a shit ton of recoil, they'd still control it and make it look like it had no recoil anyway. So, you know, we played games like Vanguard that when that gun had no recoil, and I don't know why anyone's complaining about it, to be honest. Double ICR with double grip, you know, back in Black Ops 4. So you could shoot with your toes and it wouldn't move. So, you know, personally, I don't really see anything crazy that happens with this, apart from the 2 guns that are being used in comp have got a buff. So I don't really see an issue with it, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people just complain to complain.
Yeah, people are asking about fantasy real quick as well. I'll just quickly mention. EasyMax says we're trying to sort it tonight on the stuff. Also, if you can mute your mic, please, Ace, when you're not chatting, because the boys they're going hard. Yeah, so fantasy on the Breaking Point site, we're gonna try and get that updated this evening. I can tell it, Pedro, by the way, but it's all good.
No, you can't. No, mute it.
Okay, mute it. So yeah, fantasy coming soon. Thanks to all those who got involved there over the last few days. We appreciate it as always. But yeah, this is what they changed. So yeah, nerf the aims, buff the Jackal, but they both have no recoil. So it's a classic from the developers. We think we have a meta set, and we actually don't have a meta set. So, but I trust.
But the meta set is the same though.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
they never
so
change
it's not like they buffed another AR and then someone like we got like, oh, we GAing this, we GAing that. They just kept it the same. You know, I don't think it's crazy, especially with like, especially the matches we saw this weekend. You know, I thought it was pretty balanced.
I'm gonna have to slightly disagree, only in the sense that the sub does look like it has a bit more advantage over the AR. I think if the chat is telling me correctly that the headshot multiplier is stronger now on the aims, I do think that is actually better for the competitive side. It makes it more, you know, gives the AR the proper advantage it needs from a distance to just pick off subs, and up close at least it gives them a little bit of a chance. So I think it's actually, if this is true, if exactly what they're saying is true in chat, then more positive. I think this is going to be good, but as long as at the range issue part that Dante's talking about, that needs to be corrected, I think we'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, I was just trying to find a tweet here from Austin, because I know that he tweeted at some point, he might have deleted it, on the fact that S&D, the Codcaster, is completely cooked. Like, I wanted to talk a little bit about the state of the game to actually watch it this weekend, because obviously it was the first time properly watching it. And yeah, I think EasyMac deleted his tweet. But effectively what he said was that the Codcaster is broken, and there are multiple instances why it's just messing up the data view, and it's not great to watch. I also don't like how there's no hit markers. You can hear the hit markers, but you don't get them again. And I'm like, it just takes away from the experience a bit. But overall, I'm happy with Black Ops 6 as it turned out so far. The game is fast-paced. It is fun to watch. Vault is good. We've got a decent spread between the different maps. So I think we're in for a good year. We got some banger maps on the first weekend. It's not dull to watch. Codcaster's broken. You know, I'm not shocked.
Yeah, there's no surprise. The weekend, I mean, I will say, though, this game does actually, the speed of it makes it fun to watch. Some people have disagreed with it. I think the takes on Twitter and Reddit have been a little bit mixed on this. But the speed of the game, yeah, maybe we could add another second to respawn delay. But personally, I've been calling for the game to get faster. And now, you know, I was saying through jetpacks, or through wall running, or through some kind of movement. But this game, with it just being kind of headbang, head rush, you know, tight buttholes the entire time you're playing hardpoint, I think, I don't know, I like watching the game. I like watching it. It's fun to watch. There's always something happening. There's always some action going on. maybe, I mean, do you guys disagree? Do you guys like the pace of the game, or do you think it's a little fast?
It's way too fast. There's like some hills where it's like, some hills where it's, some you spawn a bit far away, but like I'm literally seeing teams get a 4 dead, and 4 dead in other CODs was, that was like, all right, we've got a 320 here, we hold this, then we'll rotate. A 4 dead in this game don't mean shit half the time. It's just you're straight back into the action. Straight back into it.
I see that angle. I see it as being less competitive. Definitely, I see it as less competitive.
More fun
However,
to watch.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
100%. I think as a viewer though, it makes it for me like just, oh shit, they're back at it. Head bang, head bash. Oh, he's getting a kill on the flank. Oh, he just spawned up. Oh, they flipped again. It's just kind of, for me, it's been dull. It's gotten dull fairly quick over the last couple of years watching. So something new, a little bit quicker paced is holding my attention a little bit better.
Now,
Except, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, to like come to people's points, like, yeah, LAD's like slammed FaZe, but it was like constant. It was just a slammage. It wasn't like it was just constant 4 deads on FaZe. They were just getting world starred. You know what I'm saying? What I'm trying to get at is like, you look at older CODs, or like not even older CODs, just even like past CODs of like MW 2019, for example. You get a 4 dead on Gunrunner, like. That was a good 4 dead, that was a fuck up on the other team. But now I feel like if you go 4 dead in this game, it's less punishable, less punishing, should I say?
I mean, it honestly is not. Advanced Warfare was like the quickest game ever, and it played like that. And this honestly, in some ways, is not even too dissimilar. It's just kind of insane. But I mean, I'm down to watch it.
It's 100% the fastest. It's 100% the fastest boots COD. Like, I think.
Yeah.
It moves even like Black Ops 4, even though we had advanced movement, and we had a pulley. Literally, a guy had the gravity slam. He could pull himself across the map. I still think this game is faster, even though technically it should be slower. Kind of.
Vanguard was faster, someone said.
Fig, how are you? Are you getting that from a stat line, or where are you getting that from? I'm 100% almost guaranteeing that Vanguard was not faster in this game.
Someone's on.
Playing both, bro. You bring us a stat, bro. There's no.
Listen, I've competed in every single COD. Let me tell you, and I haven't played this game, and I can just tell you from visually looking at this game, it is by far the fastest COD we've ever played.
Yeah, for sure, 1000%, man, 1000%. There's other issues that are going on, but again, as a watcher, as a viewer, I'm enjoying it. I think it's a good start to everything. I'm still interested. The maps, different question, different thought, different problem, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, I also brought this up on stream real quick. Maps modes, because we know that Hacienda's coming in. They've said that it's coming in after the first couple of weeks, so it's coming in before Minor 1. So basically after Christmas or just before Christmas, they're going to be bringing Hassie into the map pool. Question is, what do they replace? Because they are going to do this. It's just a matter of what they get rid of. These are the maps that have been played so far. Skyline and Vault's the most played hardpoints, then Protocol, then there's 2, Rewind and Red Card are tied at 3 apiece in hardpoints. Control is pretty funny. We've had 0 protocols so far. It's been bad every time. So we're playing a one-map game right now.
I think they just add Hacienda in the controls. I don't think they replace it with protocol, even though it's not been played. I think they just leave it in there, and then someone will just pick Hacienda or Vault. I think that's what they'll do to make it a bit fairer. With the other maps,
that's more plausible.
With the other maps, they'll just do what they usually do and do like a CDL team vote in Google Docs or something, and then replace it like that.
The issue is that the 2 bad maps for Hardpoint that haven't been played are like the most played for search. You see what I'm saying? Like Red Card.
Have you seen what they've done to Hacienda Control though, Rab?
I heard the points are kind of cooked.
Yeah, like they've Black Ops 4 had perfect points, one on right side, one on left side. They've put one in like the middle. I'm pretty sure.
It's over then. We'll just play Vault all year. Go on, Ace.
I have a good suggestion. It's a good idea. hey, COD devs, should we bring back Raid for a 7th time? I think we could do it. Yeah, let's bring back Raid for the 7th time. Bring back some old maps and let's get this going again. Because
with how fast you move in this game, Raid would play like absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it probably would. But I mean, it's better than what we got. So I don't know. It's same thing again. Hacienda is going to be played a bunch, hopefully in hardpoint and control, but all 12 times is kind of unacceptable. It's kind of unacceptable in that way, just because, like, bro, the game's fun to watch. The one thing that's going to stagnate everything and ruin it for the viewer and make them stop watching is if they have to watch Vault Control for the This is like last year we joked about watching Control like it was boring. This is literally the same map every single time. It's absurdly boring. So I really hope they get the control situation figured out quickly.
I don't think we get any Black Ops 2 remake maps this year.
They're saving them for next year. That's the rumor. I'm trying to find you DM'd it to me.
We're going back to Black Ops 2 remastered, which I might, listen, fuck it, I'm coming back. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming. But I already know what they're gonna do. They're gonna remaster Black Ops 2, put sliding in it, and put fucking double sprint in it. And I ain't gonna play it.
They're gonna put, if they put doors in it as well, it's over for me.
Doors! Don't even get me started on doors. I'm watching competitive COD and then open a bookcase.
Yeah, these are the rumors on next year's COD, ladies and gentlemen. BO2 sequel, remastered maps in Black Ops 2. I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing as they did with last year's game, which is just bring back all of the original maps. Honestly, if they did that, I don't even think I'd be mad. Like,
COD might be cooked.
COD will be cooked if they do that, but like...
No, COD just might be cooked.
No, it's not even might be. I don't even think it's might be.
We're remastering
yeah,
Black
it
Ops 2.
basically
I mean,
is
like,
a remaster Black Ops 2.
It's a cool game, but like, you know,
bringing
like,
back Transit, original new... Okay, they are bringing back original new launch maps, to be fair. Yeah, that's what we're saying here. So... Standings in Fantasy are meant to be updating tonight, Beckett, according to Easy Mac. Black Ops 2 and Black Ops Movement? I'll be there.
Hey, the universe really expired in 2020 because we're at a point now where we're literally taking MW2 and re-releasing MW2. Now we're taking Black Ops 2 and re-releasing Black Ops 2. Like, what?
Yeah,
what
and they're going to re-release it again in 2036.
OG Fortnite came back with it. You know what I'm saying? We're just fucked. We're cooked. Also, Fig, listen, Fig's opinions are banned from the show. He said doors aren't bad.
Oh my god. The new gen, man. The new gen is hurting my soul, man.
No. His opinion's banned. We need a timeout.
Launch of Black Ops 1 was a good map.
I think Black Ops 2, I've said this before, I'll say it again. The nostalgia is not going to hit the same way, bro. When I played Modern Warfare 2 the first time, like back when I was young, and then I played it as an adult, it doesn't hit the same. Black Ops 2, they're going to take a game that everyone has the most nostalgic love for. They're going to bring it to 2025. We're going to play it, and it's not going to feel the same, and they're going to crush what is this amazing thing in our brain. So this is my fear about it. I'm sure Zombies is going to be great. Zombies was good this year. I'm sure it's going to be great next year. But in terms of multiplayer and the memories we have from this game, I don't think it's going to match. I don't think it's going to stick the same way. I don't think it's going to hit the same way that we want it to. And it's just going to be another year of slow, recycled slow COD, recycled same problems COD. Nothing new, no new maps, same shit.
You can't remaster nostalgia. You can't do that. There's a reason there's a reason that's a thing. It's because even like older games of like your favorite single player games, the reason it was so fun and enjoyable was because the graphics were shit. Like it just was, That's why I didn't really like MW I can't remember MW2 that much, because they remastered some of the maps, and like maps like Skid Row or something like Wasteland, where it had like the mist of like how shit the graphics were on like PS3 and Xbox 360. They mastered it and made it too good. I feel like you can't remaster a game these days and make no one asked for better graphics. in these, like, that's a reason we all enjoyed the old CODs, because they had a feel about them. They had they felt the way they did. That's why we loved them. You can't bring back something from 2012 into 2024, 2025 and expect people to enjoy it as much as they did back then. Also, age is a factor too. I'm 27, you know. I was playing Black Ops 2 and yeah, I'm washed, you know. I'm the fuck. But listen, you can't remaster nostalgia. That's the gimmick. I'm doing a tweet after this.
I actually like that too. The thing is, they're going to run it back as well in another. That's what I'm saying. This is the cycle. Every 12 years, they bring back the same COD games. They do Modern Warfare 2 original, Black Ops 2 original. Then 12 years later, they bring it back again, and then 12 years later, they bring it back again just for the next gens. That's the whole strategy.
Someone said it explains the midlife crisis haircut.
That's called the out the shower haircut. High world, fuck. That's the.
Wait, which one's the on about? Is he on about the blonde hair or this one? This one is a haven't had a haircut since Saudi.
Oh,
Yeah,
but it's weird. You should see me when I get out of the shower though. It's sort of slipped back and shit. You know, looking like a prime John Travolta.
Ooh wee. One thought, bro. This is okay. Tell me if I'm cooked. All right, Trey. Trey. Tell me if I'm cooked. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if we did a combination thing between, like, battle royale and competitive COD? A giant map with 8 teams on it, or 4 teams, or 12 teams on it, and they're just going at it. You know what I'm saying? Not like a Warzone, not Warzone size, too big. But like,
what are you getting at here?
Okay, my problem about this is for the viewer perspective, right? So let's say I'm an OpTic fan. How do I watch OpTic? Because there's 12 teams on the map at once.
What are you talking about here, though? Like, what's the what objective
This is
are
how
we
we
playing
play. This is the LAN tournament. You go to LAN, they all drop into one lobby.
They drop into one lobby, or like 4 at a time into a lobby. Something to make it more exciting and more battle royale.
Playing hardpoint?
This guy's insanely faded.
I'm just trying to figure out what the advancement is, right? Because we talked about how it's like age and stuff like that. Why Black Ops 2 coming into now is not going to be the same. It's not just age. It's like we've advanced in gaming. We've advanced in the style of game that's popular. You know what I'm trying to say? Battle royale is the thing now. It is exciting. It is fun. It is a little bit more enticing to have 100 people on a map. That is cool.
Nah,
so like,
Battle
how do you
Royale's
bring these
dying,
two
bro.
together?
It's over.
Battle
Royale had its time.
No, it is.
On God, there are cycles, bro.
It's had its time.
Battle Royale has peaked.
It's still
100% it's peaked.
It's still popular because we're waiting for the next big thing. But I can tell you the next big thing ain't gonna be what Ace is saying.
I'm just trying to consider it. I feel like Valorant's cool, and Valorant everyone loves it, but it's still a little, it's still a little slow. COD's a little slow. But Fortnite, for example, is still popping off. They just went back to their OG stuff, and now it's popping off. So
no, Fortnite's an outlier.
Battle Royale isn't dead, and Fortnite is a big outlier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Fortnite is just built.
But why do you think Fortnite just went back and dropped the OG map?
Exactly.
That's a good point. That's a fair point.
It's like COD. COD's gonna have its craziest.
That's what I'm saying, Big Boy. It's
COD's gonna have the craziest numbers when they drop OG Verdansk. Guess what? It will have those numbers for like a week, and then it'll be done again.
Yeah. Fortnite is the exception. Wow, people
you want to know why?
Right
you want to know why? Because you can't remaster nostalgia.
Wow, and that is getting tweeted right now.
Put that on a hat. Put it on a t-shirt.
No, but I think Fortnite is just an exception because all the kids play Fortnite, right? I'm not convinced that means that Battle Royale is a genre. Okay, this will perk Ace's attention up. You look at the stock market over the last 70, 80, 100 years. Every decade, there's been a different industry that's been on top. So one decade it's pharmaceuticals, another decade it might be energy, another decade it might be defense, another decade it might be like office supplies as it was back in the 40s. Obviously, in recent times it's been different. It's been tech, but that doesn't mean that in another 10 years tech's going to be the top industry, even though it looks like it right now in the world economy. So I'm just saying that like over time in gaming, there's different genres that have their day, and like Battle Royale is not going to be the most popular genre in 10 years' time. There's absolutely zero chance, as far as I'm concerned. So at some point it will decline.
Perfect point. That's exactly what I was getting at. That's my point. I was saying how COD had its time. It was COD, not COD. Standard multiplayer had its time. Then the next thing came. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to think now, what would be the next thing? Is it some weird hybrid version of it? Is it some brand complete thing that we haven't even thought about yet? Because if you asked me when I was 12 years old, would I think it'd be possible to have 100 people on the map all fighting for one guy to win? I probably would have said no. You know, I would have said the closest thing was probably war back in Call of Duty 3 or something like that, when like 50 people were on a map. So I don't know what the next thing's gonna be, but I'm trying to think of it now and try to get us there quickly. Because man, way we're going, it's looking
I
a
think
little scary.
I think COD's had its time. Realistically, I just think everyone's too scared to leave COD. If you catch my drift, I think COD's had its time. I don't think it even touches how good it used to be. I think number-wise, I think it's just because it's been such a staple for FPS gaming, and it is the FPS shooter that no one leaves.
Esports is just so interesting compared to like regular sports, though, because like you look at normal sports, and it's the same sport that they played 100 years ago within reason, right? Like they don't necessarily have to change things. Now, some sports do change things to make it more exciting, which is necessary, but in regular sports, they kind of figured it out. In esports, it's not quite so simple. Like there'll always be interest in competition, but there's lots of it's in flux so much, and it depends so much on what people actually play as to whether it's relevant or not. It's exactly as you say, Ace. Like CS ain't going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
That style is not going anywhere in terms of people being interested.
That's one thing that just it's like not shocking, but I guess it's interesting to me that CS Val style, it still has the same or more interest, honestly, whereas COD, which is faster paced, more attention grabbing, has declined rather than shot up, while Val, which is slower paced, maybe a couple powers here and there, is on the rise. That's a little confusing to me, because I feel like it'd be the opposite. The quicker, fast paced game, I would think naturally would be the one that gathers the attention. But that's just me.
What do you think about?
People are comparing, like people keep saying like X Defiant, look how that turned out. I still stand by it. X Defiant was funner than COD that we've had in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I think what ruined X Defiant was the fact there was, lack of private matches and stuff like that, so friends couldn't even play against each other. I think that was a big aspect. I also think people, that's what I'm saying. People were scared to jump on another game. You know what I'm saying? People were scared. People didn't want to go from COD to X Defiant, and then when a new COD came out, they wouldn't stay there. I also think what fucked it up was, I think people actually hate Aches that much that they just genuinely didn't want to play the game. I think I do believe that as well.
Bad PR.
I think Aches gave it a bad PR in terms of that. People genuinely didn't want to play the game.
Look at this, by the way. You remember this year, Trey? First event of the year, the Hard Rock in Vegas.
Nah, don't get me started, bro. This
Fort Worth, London.
The CDL goodbye tour, man.
Man. The CDL goodbye tour is actually crazy work out about them. That's so sad. But yeah, this is nostalgic to look back on for sure. Okay, let's talk some COD. We had a couple of matches this weekend. Wanted to start here real quick. Cup number 2, Champions. First cup was won by Hook and his team. Second cup, Hook's team made the final, but they went down. Now, there was a bit of drama here because Hook's team were waiting for like 7 hours to play this grand final, so they were getting iced. But Illy, Arcetes, Johnny, Stanley, they come through and they get the dub. Afro's team won in Europe, pretty cool. Shock's Fighter, they've done it again. Another free bag, as with Trakes and those boys in Latin America, so congrats to them. But sensational work, I thought, out of Illy, right? Because we saw this with Donny Temp last year. He goes down to challenges, but he doesn't really have any success there, and therefore he doesn't really get noticed. Not noticed, people know who Illy is, people know who Temp is, but the point is, if you go to challenges and you're a world champ, you got to keep winning. And that's what Illy's done this weekend, as have Arcetes, Standy, and Johnny. And it was honestly Johnny who was mainly cooking here, based on the numbers. We'll see in a second. Thoughts, Ace?
You go next, right?
Or
no. Where are you? He said Trey. He said Trey.
Oh, sorry. I was texting my family. They get home from holiday.
All good.
He didn't say Trey.
Oh, I thought you said Trey in that. That's why I was waiting on you to say something.
Nah, I was hoping you would take
Bro, our
over.
show is cooked.
Holy shit.
Hey, lock in. Hey,
Yeah,
go.
lock in. Yeah. North America, Illy, Alec, Johnny, Standy. Again, it's good to see a switch up. It's good to see another team taking it from the Challengers Cup 1. I think it's going to be a battle this year. Like we've said before, there's a lot of talent that's sitting there in Challengers. A lot of names that were in the league, should be in the league, have been in the league, or guys that are very recognizable, just names. So I think that North American division of Challengers, we're going to see a lot of new faces being the champions over the next course of a few weeks. Even during the matches, I think most matches went to like map 4, map 5. We saw a lot of map 5s from one weekend. So I think this game is just kind of built to be very close. The challenger scene is going to be neck and neck the entire time. European scene, similarly, I think you're going to see a lot of familiar names too. You got the Spanish guys, ex-pros going back. You got a lot of names like the Bance boys. Bance join. I just got a note on my phone that Bance is joining Noctum esports. So all the familiar names are going to be there and taking over. Afro, Rafi, Eric Boom, all guys we've heard of 1,000 times. Australia, if you're in Australia, just move, bro. You're not beating FIDA, bro. You're not beating these guys. You're not beating Shox to FIDA. It's impossible.
Those motherfuckers are so annoying, bro.
Dude, they go deliver mail from fucking 9 to 4, and they get home and they cook people on COD and get their extra bag.
Bro, but they didn't even play. They just decide when they want to just come back and take over. That's their thing. Like they didn't play for a year or something like that. They just come back and say, yeah, fuck it, we'll just take over this. Fuck it, we'll be back. Yeah,
bro. If you're in a region you just can't break out, go to Aussie or something. At least make a bag. Do that, and then I'm gonna look into. I don't know who the LatAm guys are. Again, I'm not too familiar with these guys, but I definitely want to start tuning in a little bit, or at least getting myself knowledgeable and tapped in with their scene. Because I have this thought in my head that they're gonna be a scene that's gonna carry a bit of the CDL in the coming years. That's like an early prediction, but the way that internationals generally talk about COD, they seem to be a lot more interested than the NA does, like in general. And in Latin America, they love video games. They love Call of Duty. They love multiplayer games. So I think we see some LatAm guys in the next 2 years come in and start to take a few CDL spots, honestly. So I want to get tapped in with them quickly.
Wow, that's a pretty nice prediction. I don't believe it.
I think it's a good thing to do by getting tapped in with them. I think a lot of these players would need to, let's just say, get given a shot or become friends with a pro or something like that, so they get into like 8s and stuff like that, see if they play well. If they don't do that, and that's what I mean, like it's straight up like you got to be either someone from that country or something like that buys a spot and then you get your shot that way, like Vegas have done, or you have to be friends with the pros. That's the only way you're gonna make it like that. If you're in a different region like that, so that's the only way I see them getting a spot realistically, Ace.
Yeah, someone said in the chat, Friendship League confirmed, bro. Any industry you get into, you got to be somewhat just cool and relatable to the people that you're trying to get into.
You got to suck some schmeat.
Yeah, I mean, say it. Pause. But you got to be definitely like, they got to know you're sociable. They got to know you're a normal person. They got to know you can just be in a TeamSpeak chat or a Discord call and be normal, right? You do not want a creature in the league, right? That's been a problem before where guys come in that may be really good, but they're just not very sociable, kind of weird. And the moment they have a bad couple months, they're out of the league quickly because no one really wants to team with them. No one really wants to deal with them. But there's guys who stay in the league longer than they should because of relationships and stuff like that. Or they even get a shot on a team over other people because of relationships. That's just how life works. So I don't like the thought of Friendship League and all that. It's not. You got to live in reality, not in just like this ideal world, bro. It's reality. You gotta know some people. These LatAm guys.
Rankings. Number 1 creature in the league chat. Go. I need chat's opinions on who's the biggest creature.
Listen,
I'm not saying anything.
On stream, the last 5 years, I could name some creatures, but last 10 years, I could name you some real creatures. But last 5 years, maybe a couple. But yeah, nah. For on stream, it's all good.
Jimbo.
Last season, Ace's buzzword was nugget. This year, it might be creature.
No, that was just for
Creatures?
short motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna if the girlfriends get put on stream, you bet your sorry ass I'm gonna call them
Nuggets coming
Nuggets
back?
for sure.
No way.
Yeah, 100%. It's never gone anywhere. Crim Six is a creature. Nah, Crim is sociable. Crim's a fun guy. Crim's actually like,
He said when someone drops him.
Oh, I had to read the rest of it. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, bro, Trey, are you like, bro? If you got dropped or you knew people were conspiring against you, were you gonna be a happy fucking camper?
I'm trying to think when I got dropped. I got dropped twice in my career. No, 3. Fucking hell. 3 times.
All right, let me go through them, Trey.
What? You don't got to go through them, but like, were you the kindest guy in the world every time you got dropped, or did you obviously throw some shade back or say some shit you maybe regret now? But like, that's just how it goes. You're getting slighted. It happens. I don't blame Chris.
Nah, I don't feel like did I ever slime? New York, I got pissed off.
Yeah.
New York, I got pissed off.
See?
The one where I got dropped from Splice for Tommy, I was just like, all right, well that's weird. I was like, whoa, I just had like one of the greatest COD years, MVP, one of the event and whatever like that, and then I was like, all right, fuck that. And then the London one, that one pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie, that one did piss me off as well. I didn't turn into a creature though.
Not quite.
I didn't turn into a creature. I think I just turned into that LeBron meme where it was like, maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's me.
All right, let's talk about those
whoa.
matches, baby. I wanted to start here. These are the viewership numbers for your opening weekend. These were the original viewership numbers, but then we added in Gataga. And obviously, it's a bit of a cheat code with Gataga because he only streams his own games, which obviously, like, it's still great for the scene. If you streamed every game, I guess it'd be better for the scene because more people coming in, like new fans. But also, it's still mega for the scene that we have Gataga popping like 70k views. I mean, how many times have you ever seen anything like this? Obviously, Scump's streaming all the games, right? So, like, they get the OpTic boost, but they get the Scump boost all the time. Whereas Gataga, I mean, look at this, 200k. Both 1 and 2 were both GentleMates games. Pretty insane to think about.
Fucking Carolina hasn't seen this much PR since they fucking joined the league.
I need it, listen.
I'm really happy with this. You know why? Because I'm pretty sure I think we looked at this something like this last year, and it was all like I think OpTic dominated. The fact this year that it's spread out, we get 1 and 2. That's a new team. Even the third match, LAT ATL, obviously a great match. We all wanted to see it. It was cool, but I like to see the spread of viewership in this one, and I like to see that there's a matchup here, right? ATL. FaZe versus LAT now that's going to get just as much viewership as any OpTic rivalry match or OpTic match would get. So this makes me happy and finally a little bit of a green flag happening for the COD scene a little bit.
Well, this is the first ever time we've ever seen OpTic not at the top.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Even the FaZe and Thieves are above him is kind of cool actually for the scene.
I was saying, yeah, no, I was thinking that too. The thing is, all right, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
We need these numbers to go up. Not down over the next few weeks. We need them to go up. All right? I don't want to fit, like, the French people that are watching Gataga stream, I hope they were sat there thinking, because I'm telling you, there's not many people that are fans of Gataga that are going to sit there and watch a CDL, all right? They're watching it to support Gataga. But I hope to God they've sat there and thought, you know what, this is actually a good watch. I'm going to come back for this. And not, it was alright. I mean, I wouldn't watch it again. I'll support Gataga next time on its tweets, but it was nice it's nice to see Gataga and all those is still getting the support from the people that want to watch like the team. Unfortunately, I still get the LAG branding, which pisses me off to this day.
No, they went prestige
Yeah,
mode,
that's
remember?
true.
Yeah, they did go prestige mode.
Yo, hey, deadass. 10 out of 10. That's my fucking little brother. You know what I'm saying?
I mean that's your face on him.
I think it might be your face
Right,
on it.
look at it. Wait. There's a side-by-side one. Rap, you're using the wrong one.
Wait, I got that. I need
There's
to
a
find the
side-by-side
original.
one. Get that.
I mean,
Hang on.
Get the side-by-side one to show how actually similar.
Okay, yeah.
You got it.
Yeah, I can get it. I can get it up.
I put it in here for you.
Someone said Rokkr the Stocksman.
That's
Dude, dude, I'm telling you, like, if he wants a job at Stocksman Inc., he can have one.
There we go. There we go. It's pretty
bro,
good. You gotta say though. That is actually criminal, bro.
He
That
got
is
one,
criminal.
dude. That's fucking crazy,
The
guys.
Rocksman.
That's my face on his face, and it looks like the same guy.
It looks like the same guy.
It's just like,
Oh,
oh yeah, slightly higher cheekbones, bigger jawline, beard connect. I don't know, whatever. But like, dude, it's the same guy.
It is the
No
it's the
bullshit.
same guy. Wow, he's back in the league after all.
I told you, one way or another. My team's pissed right now because I'm not scrimming, but like, fuck, you know, I have to be on the show.
Someone said better looking Stocksman.
Oh.
Kill yourself. Yeesh.
The fuck?
All right, let's get back to
The rule of one. There will always be an Abedi.
The Abedi Institute. The Abedi Institute is absolutely top tier, and we always will have one member at all times. Visions, we're good. Don't worry. The fantasy league will be updated. We talked about this already.
All right, let's talk about these matches because I'm not like, you know, I ain't seen my family in 2.5 weeks. You know, I've not eaten. Like we got all these matches to talk about.
All right. Step one, we're gonna talk about why GentleMates, despite having the fans, are actually just terrible at Call of Duty because they've been playing.
Oh Lord, here we go.
I mean, to be fair, it was a 6-5 final mapper here, but then they got piss slammed by the Ravens later in the week. And this honestly was kind of a subliners classic. I mean, look at this. Guys with a 1.4, useless. Lins with a 1.2, pretty useless. Bloody hell. It's actually crazy. I'm going to give Pissmut gas this week. He actually deserves it. But Rokkr get piss slammed all series.
No
win.
No one gets gas.
Wait, Kismet's not getting gas for me? Okay.
Why the fuck does anyone deserve gas when you've just absolutely violated them with 1.37, 1.18, and 1.03? And you lose.
Yeah, it was bad to be fair. Like even the
and not only do you lose, you lose 2 fucking respawns.
And and you lose them by absolutely choking them.
Yeah,
It's
this
not
is
even
bad.
like you lost,
Game 1
like-
was so bad.
Game 1 was horrendous. Horrendous work.
And you want to know who costed them game 1? I'll say it.
Oh, shit.
Lins.
Yeah. We called it out live on stream when we were streaming on Friday.
Yeah, we did.
Lins ran forward, got it, chased the kills, made them spawn out behind him, costed him one of the last hills, and then it all went downhill from there. So, guys, what do we think? Rab, Trey, is this just week 1 cheese, or do we think there's a problem, a chemistry problem, or a deeper seated problem with GentleMates? What do we think?
I think this team is just kind of bad. Go on, Trey, then I'll go.
For your first week coming out clutch, you've got Gataga watching you, and you lose like this. You ain't got no composure. The last thing you need is your boss watching you with 50,000 people and you choking like that. I think it's a good tell for the season, if you ask me. I ain't gonna lie to you.
What I'm saying is,
Rabito,
if they had Hydra, this ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Which means 2 things. It's like, okay, Lins needs to get better, sure, but also Hydra was carrying these dogs for the last couple of years, and it's on full display. I honestly think that Skies, I have my questions on his playstyle. He can still be a solid player, as I think can Kismet. Maybe not like top tier, but good enough. Priester might just be ass now, unfortunately. Kind of sad to see, but obviously last year he got dropped from subliners. They brought in Sib. looking back on the season, was that the right move? Probably, yeah. He was on Boston getting slapped around all year, and now he's on this team and he's had like 2 back-to-back terrible series. So, yeah, I think that's the concern as far as I'm looking at it, and I don't think they're maybe that bad. It's just like the other teams are actually quite good, I think is the takeaway. Like Rokkr are not like anything special, but they have good teamwork and they have some clutch factor and they have like some decent slaying power at times. And that's enough to beat you if they're competent. This is the issue. It's like they're not that competent and they've got some weak links.
I'm going to add on just to say that I don't know who tweeted this out, but somewhere there was like, oh, Priesta since winning champs is like 6-19 in series count or something crazy like that.
6-29 it is. It was Brian Stats who tweeted it. I'll find it real quick.
I said 19. 26-29.
Obviously, a lot of that's like, Boston, so like, you know.
But I mean, that's still just like a kind of crazy downslide. You know, going from winning a ring to 6-29 within the next couple of years. Priest is that guy for this team that I think if he can't get it together quickly,
there you go.
First change in the CDL might be coming in soon. There it is, 6-29, man.
Pack it up, stat man. I don't need to see this.
And this is the series against Ravens. I mean, this one was okay. They won the map 3 Vault. Congratulations, but like the other maps were genuinely not even close. And Ravens might be pretty good, but it's not like they annihilated Falcons. And Ravens, I mean, I'm going to gas Ravens a bit because I do like this team, but we did see them scrim Hook's roster the other day and they got beat 5-0. So, like, I don't think Ravens... I'd love to see Ravens play like Toronto right now. I think that'd be very fascinating to see where the teams are at. And I do respect Ravens' search. It's always going to be good. But you can't be letting this happen. I mean, Ravens are not exactly going to win events this year, in my opinion. They can be competitive, but to get slapped around at the respawns like this is just pretty bad. I mean, I respect Old Man Slash's abilities an awful lot. You know, we're a big fan of Slash on the show. I mean, but you're letting him drop 38 and 23 in your head. You're meant to be a world champion winning team. Like, what's this?
Wait, whoa.
Hang on. Speaking of Ravens, I got a stat tweeted to me from Brian Stats.
Run it up.
I'll send it to you in the chat. It's quite funny, actually. I actually had a giggle.
All right, I'm bringing it up.
Oh no, it's not the reply. Sorry, it's the actual tweet.
Yeah, it's fine. I get it.
Yeah, have a look at that. You could the stream will enjoy that one too.
All right, here we go. Royal Ravens start off the season 2-0 for the 3rd time in 6 years. Kind of impressive. Gwyn is now 13 series wins away from tying 0 as the winningest Royal Ravens player of all time. An exciting time to be a fan of Carolina. Wow, look at that, Trey.
No, I think this is hilarious. I think this is hilarious. One, because I joined like 7 months late into MW 2019. I didn't play Cold War. I played a full year of Vanguard, and I got dropped 2 matches in. Now, I think that's pretty fucking hilarious if you ask me. that I'm the most winningest player on fucking London. I think that's fucking hilarious if you ask me, considering I played hardly any fucking I didn't even get a full year.
Introducing Ravens legend, Trey.
The most winningest player in the history
Bro,
of the Carolina Ravens.
I woke up, checked my phone. Like I said, I ain't tweeting in like 2 months or some shit. So I woke up, I checked my phone. I looked at it. I saw that tweet, and I was like, I don't even know if this is a roast. And I thought about it. I was like, I played 3 months in MW 2019, pretty much. I didn't play Cold War. Played Vanguard. And played, like, fucking 3 matches.
That's how I'm going to introduce you on the show this year, Trey, from now on.
I just need a soundbite of that.
Which I think's fucking hilarious that I am the most winningest player on London. I think it just proves how fucking dog shit they were.
Like the fact that you didn't stick it out with them being the winningest player is pretty fucking that's absurd.
Hilarious, right?
Yeah,
hilarious.
Trolls.
Ravens Hall of Famer.
I'm a Hall of Famer. I actually am.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Wait, but I want to go back to something though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't appreciate what was said that this team, oh, we're letting old man Slasher whoop your ass and shit like that. This team's actually, I actually think, again, I'm saying it again, they're like the sleeper team. They're the true sleeper underdog team that a lot of people are counting out. But on paper, and now seeing them play a bit, Gwyn, Slasher, TJ, and Vivid look like a good balance of guys that can actually make some runs and upset some good teams on the right day, you know? I think they could be on a Saturday, a late Saturday, maybe a Sunday in this year.
I rate this team a lot. I liked it when it was formed. Obviously, I've always thought Slasher is underrated by the community. People seem to forget when he fries people, and then he has a bad map, and they're like, Slasher's dog shit or whatever. But we know he's going to be good at a trade game. I have my concerns a bit about just because it's so fast paced, how Slasher would handle that compared to some of the others. But I'm not surprised that Slasher's been cooking so far. It's just the general point of the fact that Ravens, although they might be good and solid, and obviously great at search and destroy, which is no surprise at all, it's not like they lost 3-1 in this manner to Thieves, right? I mean, okay, we know how good Ravens are yet against a team like Thieves. We'll see. But the point being that mates, bloody hell, it's so terrible, this organization, though. GentleMates come in and they're kind of gassing up their roster as they won the world championship 2 years ago, but we now have another French kid. But it's I know that team also didn't start out that season especially well, and they improved over time. So maybe Darreel's got his work cut out again, even more so now than before, because I don't think Priest is the player that he was before.
I mean, listen, we've also got to talk about the teams they played. They didn't play the craziest teams, but it's a strong showing. I feel like we got to. It's also the way before these matches even started. I said it's the start of the year. People can beat anyone right now. Also, I need some eyes in the chat if you've always stuck by Austin Littlegoat, because I know I have. All right, I know I have, and he shows it. He even showed it last year on the Boston team. He was their best player. He always showed up, especially at LAN.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to forget just because people have bad showings on bad teams. That Boston team wasn't a good team. He still showed he was a contender, and he done exactly what I knew he was going to do this year. He didn't play challenges because he knew he was going to get a spot this year because he's that fucking good. My only doubts is they didn't play the craziest of teams, but that GentleMates team is still, people still think that's a top 4 team. That's what they had their prediction. Some people had that predicted coming into this. So, and they dealt with them pretty easily. I didn't have them that high up, but I do like this team. I do. I think Gwyn is a very good player. My only issue with Gwyn was he wasn't a very good LAN player last year, but hopefully it turns around. We're going to see it this year. I've got Vivid kind of scares me in S&D, 0.15 KD coming out of this weekend.
I mean, look at this. Actually,
he's on a he's on a 0.15 in S&D, but I think as an S&D team, I don't think they'll care about that because Slasher's one of the greatest S&D players, if not the greatest S&D player of all time in CDL history, in my opinion.
I just want to add one thing, just about giving Reese Vivid some grace here. There's a little bit of grace is that, he did make a pretty significant role change to AR, and considering how paced of a player he is, I think in search is where you're going to see that most affected, right? This game is quick pace anyway, so AR sub in hand, you're going to be able to be effective generally. But I think S&D, playing 10 years of S&D with the sub in your hand, and the way he kind of is the first, he's running in, he's the one that's breaking the doors down, he's the one that's running into the room first. I think it's going to take a little bit of time, but he has good guys around him. He has Tej and Slasher to kind of navigate his pace and send him on the right routes and kind of get his timings right. I don't think Viv is going to stay at a 0.15, obviously, for the upcoming weeks. Obviously, there's a goddamn crazy outlier. He's good, though. Reese is a quality player. I think this is a turnaround year for him generally. And S&D is where he's going to need to improve, but he has the best guys around him to do so. So I think every team should be scared of this Ravens team.
I think I think Vivid's one of these players that's on the cusp of like, this is your last year to be good. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those players, and he actually has the team to do it. You know, he's got no pressure with him in terms of who he's playing with. He's got Slasher, who is a player that's gonna help him, and if he fucks up, he's gonna find out. TJ, very good S&D player. So I'm not scared for Vivid at all. I just want to see how they play against the top teams. You know, that will really decide where they're at. Just like everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely.
They also played Falcons on the weekends. I guess I'll just bring up that game real quick. We can talk about the Falcons because they honestly looked pretty good, I think, compared to some expectations, I guess. I mean, they come into the year, they've only been in the US like a week or so. They've been practicing only for a few days. And they come in here this week and, okay, they go down in both of their series. If I can find a way to click on this one, I guess we can go here, something like that. Jesus, I'm struggling right now to find this. There we go, matches, that'll do. Completed games.
No, go to matches at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it.
There we go, baby. We're good.
So they won the search on this one, though. They actually won the Skyline search against Ravens, and then they went down the other Vivid. 3 maps. But, like, genuinely, Falcons were closer
I blame
in
Vivid.
the series than GentleMates were in theirs.
I'm not going to say that Falcons are good. I don't think they're very good. I think they're just generally gun skill wise, they're mechanically skilled, and I think there's a video of Clay saying the same thing. Like the CDL had it up during one of their breaks, but Clay was mentioning how they're mechanically skilled. But they have a lot to go. They have a different play style. They need to play, together in a uniform, professional COD. It's gonna take some time for them to get there. I think the secondary problem that I saw that had me concerned for them as a team is that all of their in-game comms are in Arabic. So if your coach is an English speaker, your assistant coach is an English speaker. Luti, I don't believe, knows Arabic fluently. How do you really get better? How does someone bother you? Literally, I'm not sure how you're supposed to get better if your coach can't understand your in-game comms. Are you going to sit there? Does the team have to get together and translate the entire thing to him? Do they have an AI bot sitting there and sending him a transcript of what they're saying? It's kind of tough. So I think that's my biggest worry about this team. I don't think they're good. I don't think they're great. I think they're going to be okay. Keep up some respawns just purely a gun skill. It's almost like Miami last year. They might just head bash into some shit and win. But do they know exactly why they're breaking hills or know exactly what the right route is to do? I don't really think so. And it's going to be really tough to get there without a coach that can speak your language and guide you through your bot. So.
Clay's just going in depth on what they've done wrong, and they're all sat like,
yeah.
Yes, brother. Yes. Alhamdulillah, brother. Alhamdulillah.
And then they all sit down and they go, do you understand a word he just said?
Yeah.
We just got to hit the hill, boys. We just got to hit the hill.
That is what King of Body does. That is King of Body's playstyle. He just runs and gets slammed and runs again.
No, there was
bro.
There was I think there was an interview with one of them. No. Excuse me. No, that was Rankport. But no, that was Rankport. But as far as I know, 2 of these guys speak English well, 2 of them don't. So it is another roadblock that if the coach is telling you something, one of the guys maybe doesn't understand it. It has to go through a game of telephone just for the whole team to understand it. That's it's a serious. It's maybe it seems a little funny. I know I'm
no, it's serious.
Yeah, it's a serious problem. How do you improve when you guys can't communicate properly?
You've got one of the greatest Call of Duty players of all time, Clayster, telling you what he thinks is the best route to go for it, and I don't think, and it's nothing against them or anything like that. It's a situation they're in, and they've picked up that. But I still think it is. I still think it is a big issue.
And directionally with this team, again, early prediction in 1 year. Whole roster is essentially going to be different, maybe with the exception of 1 guy or 2 maybe. And I think Clay is a piece they specifically have there to attract future NA and European talent to this team. I think it's going to be a half Arab, half English speakers, or West, whatever you want to call them, on this team, coached by Clay, assistant coach Lou T. And then next year, that's going to be when I think their foundation is good. I think that they're setting up for something much bigger in the CDL. Honestly,
Why have you brought up the stats from every game, bro? He's struggling to put a point A up.
I'm just saying, like, people in the chat are saying it.
Is this King of Body?
King of Body's Lion Man card might be down there with Exceed. We might have a new Burger King, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be halal, though. It'll be Burger King.
No, I'm not even playing, bro. There was moments on was it the mansion map, Skyline? That's Skyline, right?
Uh-huh.
Not even saying, yeah. I was watching the Skyline that he was playing, and I, on God, swear to you, some of the times when they switched to his POV, it looked like my POV on the map. And I was like, dude, there's no way. And then I'm like, just watching how he moved his right stick, I could tell he was gonna get slammed. And then seconds later, he got slammed. Some
people are just level below pro, right? I mean, it is what it is. Like, not everyone's gonna be pro level. Exnid can shoot straight. Khalid can shoot straight. Roxman, he can shoot straight sometimes.
Don't disrespect him ever, okay? On this show, we do not disrespect my little brother like that ever, okay?
Yeah, King of Body, though, I mean, like, I didn't even know these numbers, but I just did bring them up because Challengers Elite last year, when the Falcons went down, he had a 0.7 on that one. He played twice at the World Cup. He had a 0.88. He got a 0.64 against FaZe.
He might be funding the team.
He might be funding. His father might be funding the team.
He might be paying to play.
Yeah, he's a paid.
It might be P2W. Might be paid to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a little bit of time. Maybe he's nervous. His first week in the CDL. Maybe he gets better. Obviously, it's week 1. But if anyone has their eyes, has eyes on them right now as to needs to fix this shit quickly, it's got to be him. Like watching him on the map at times, he is costing his team. He's losing easy gunfights. I don't know who did it to him, but it was a doorway on Skyline. He's there. He has an easy kill. The guy does he bobs in and then just bobs back out, and King of Bodhi gets like unbelievably fly.
Hey, this guy's a shooter though.
This guy's a shooter. Khalid's a shooter.
He's a shooter.
Yeah,
he is.
This guy's a shooter. I don't know how you say his gamer tag.
Okay, his gamer tag is Kicks. But
kicks, yeah.
Yeah, but he says he's calling him Khalid, but yeah.
Khalid? Alright, this kid's gonna go places. I ain't gonna lie. This kid can shoot. Alright? I don't know if he knows English very well. If I'm a player like him right now, 23, still young, born in 2000. Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's bad at it, Trey.
Still young. All right, it's his first time in the league. He's putting up good numbers against, teams that he's played, even in the Esports World Cup and stuff like that. What he should be doing right now is learning English and getting ready. Just playing what it is, and hopefully he can, get into some of these Pro 8s and stuff like that and prove he's a shooter.
Yeah, he's the one that Clay's going to be like, I'm keeping
him
around. And this is Roxas. He's been all right. Roxas has been all right.
Roxas, when I was watching him play, he's not bad. He's, in my mind, he's like the route man. He kind of like their glue player. I was watching 1-2 maps of them. So I'm not gonna say like my word is gospel at all here. But from what I was watching, King of Bodhi is the dog shit player. He's the glue player, and then Kicks
we
and
don't need glue players. We don't need glue players. If you can't get a kill, you get the fuck out.
No, he could get a couple of kills, but again, he was the route man. He was the man trying to do the dirty work. So, the team has time to get it together. Honestly,
I love it. Someone's like, he's the glue man. We need him. Hell no, you need a fucking kill. All right, get him out.
Yeah, it's just tough, because the issue is these were, in the grand scheme of things, more winnable games. Right? They played Miami, they played Ravens. Obviously, they were expected to lose, but still, they will finish out thinking, if we'd have maybe brought in another player.
I love Twitch chat, man. So I don't give a fuck if your name's Elmer's 0.7.
This is what they got slapped around by. This is reasonably
Nah, it's close
competitive.
again.
Like,
You know what I'm saying?
the
Listen, if
skyline
I'm-
was
alright,
good. The skyline was good.
If I'm
actually.
kicks, by the way, I'm throwing chairs. I'm like, guys, seriously, can we get a fucking kill?
Yeah, this was again another pretty competitive map. So, yeah, Miami are an interesting team as well. Like, we can talk about them real quick because they, I think, depending on how quickly Super gets his visa, I think they'll make a change like as soon as they can.
I
Because
think metals will be gone.
you think Metals will be gone? Interesting. Because I thought Metals had the
Potentially, yeah.
keys, but I don't
Metals
know if
has
that's
the
actually
key.
true.
Whoever's the best player in that team's got the keys, and I think Rancor is the best player on that team.
Yeah, Renkar's been moving. What do you think, Ace?
Rancor's really good. Rancor surprised me. He was actually like much more CDL ready than I expected him to be. And if he is looking like the guy who's
I mean,
he's not making the calls. I don't think he's making the shots, honestly. But I actually believe we're going to be in a situation where they flip flop between players over a course of different majors and such.
I thought that was going to be the case last year, though, Ace, when they kept getting bopped around when they had Journey sat on the bench. He was their best player online, and then they just didn't give him a shot again because of that fucking. I feel like he got bullshitted out of it, in my opinion, when I spoke to him in the airport.
He did.
You know, I thought they were gonna. Yeah, I thought that's what they were gonna do before, but they didn't.
Clearly, that there's more to that one than I think meets the eye. I'm not saying like I know anything, but I'm saying it just seems like compared to how he was playing and how quickly they took him out, it seems like there was more to it. In this case, Rancor and Super again have been a duo for a minute and found success with that. So it would be, in my opinion, foolish for Heretics not to attempt to put them in together and see what kind of productivity you get.
I think it's just going to be a case of they know Renkor's probably the best player there, and it's going to be Rancor. Do you want to play with Super? Or do you want to play with these? He's probably going to say, "Oh, let's stick it out, see how it is," and then boom, something's going to happen, and someone's going to get traded, dropped, or swapped. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, I don't know why you said metal. I genuinely thought it'd be lucky to just who gets swapped out, but
well, this was the map really
surprised.
that was quite important for Miami because they're playing Surge, a team that
might have got
most
the
teams
names mixed
think
up,
is
to be
kind
honest
of
with
middle
you.
of the pack. Also, just because Lucky's their AR, right? Like he's the main AR. Super, if he was going to come, would also do that role. Surge, you know, I think they're going to be pretty solid. And I'm not expecting them to be anything special. They did play earlier in the weekend against. Did they play Toronto? And like they got a good series out of Hixie, and they still lost, which is a bit concerning. But this series, they had their chances, right? I mean, Miami win the game 1. They dominate the vaults. They 3-0 that one. And then they turn up on Protocol and Lucky goes 10-30. And no, this was like an off map, sure. But then map 5, he goes 3-6. So it's like back-to-back stinkers when it matters to win the series. Pretty ugly, especially when you've got a player who's been just as good, if not better, than Rancor in challenges over the last couple of years, with his visa waiting to be approved in your role. Like, it seems to be a no-brainer that Miami will at least try it, in my opinion.
I think we're going to be in a situation this year where we see a lot of sub players move to AR this year, just because the game's fast paced. And I mean, let's be real: if you can't run both guns, you just shouldn't be in the league anyway. You know, I think we're in a situation where it's always best to be a sub player that transitions to an AR than an AR that transitions to a sub, because generally they're slow. I think especially for Spanish players and this Spanish team in general, I think if they need more pace, I think they'll drop an AR player to bring a sub in and make a sub run an AR and run at the same speed.
That's a radical take. That's some Euro shit for sure, because I don't know. That sounds kind of crazy to swap over people's roles 1,000 times. And I feel like most times that happens in the league, it doesn't go well. You know, we had examples of Abuza, even have Vivid now swapping over, having some difficulty.
What did I tell you though? If it's an AR going to an SMG, it's gonna turn out badly. I think Vivid's gonna be a good AR player.
Right, I'm saying the struggles in the beginning of it. I'm saying.
I don't think he's really struggled like that. He just had a bad he's just terrible at S&D right now.
And I mean, we could go a little bit down the line with more players that have tried to make swaps. I don't think it's the worst idea in the world. I think Miami have a good core. Real, Rancor, Super. You just need your fourth piece of the puzzle. Whether that is Metals, maybe Metals has had a standout close to the year last year. So I think he can be that guy. But if they decide to dip into challengers or there's some other Spanish kids that we don't know about that's out there that rank 4 and super maybe have their eye on, I think if you get that duo together and they're good, you give them the keys along with Real, and you have a really solid core 3. Just needs one piece left.
I also don't want to speak like crazy too much on like on players. So like, you know, before any pro players come and roast this show, you know, I don't want to speak too crazy on them right now, just because the game we are literally week 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No one should be dropped right now. It shouldn't even be like a discussion in terms of like, you know, wow, he's ass, get him out or anything like that. It's more of just you know, we look towards the future. These maps are like these matches are a good insight to how I think how composure is going to work for this year. If you guys agree with me like that, you know, you're professional players. You're on the fucking main stage. You're in the view of the public eye. If you're choking, I feel like that sets more of a precedent than a player just having a bad match.
I agree with this take as well, and I want to add as well. Like, yeah, there should be take this entire analysis almost like early predictions, right? It's us throwing out early predictions based on 1 week of COD. Don't take it so deep. This is what we have to run with, and we're going to run with it. You know, we're going to take what we can see quickly. Hacienda is going to be a new map. We'll see which teams are, you know, that is a huge mix up to this entire thing. Some teams might be good, some might be bad, might fit some players' play styles. Some AR players might be really good on that map that, you know, they haven't had much success maybe on some of these sub maps. So take everything we say on this show a little bit with a grain of salt because it's week 1. But except the King of Bodhi take. That one, maybe you could take that one with a little bit more of some sea salt, a little heavier grain of salt on that one.
Nah, he gonna that's my rookie of the year, baby.
He's coming back. Trust.
That's my rookie of the year.
You sniff some other type of salts before
If
saying
it
that
was
shit.
Nuketown 1v1s, then yeah, King of Body would cook. That's what I used to do back in the day.
You're an idiot, bro.
Watch out for King, double I. Okay, let's talk. I want to talk Rokkr real quick, and then we can talk Boston.
All right.
Like, just quickly on Rokkr, really, because not the team I expected to come into the weekend and start at 2-0. Obviously, they've played GentleMates in Boston, not the best teams on paper. But both series, they've been, like, slammed KD-wise. I mean, look at this. They've won both series. SGL has a 0.82. Geo has a 0.81. Nero's got a 0.97. Paul's got a 0.99. And they've won both of their series in 5 maps. So I don't know if this is good or bad, really, right? Because
it ain't gonna last.
Yeah, I think this is
it ain't gonna last.
This is my concern, Trey, is that when they lose, they tend to lose bad, and then they scraped a vault 250-245, and then they won both searches very, very marginally. So
it's not a consistent play style. They should have, like, I hate saying the words they should have lost, but that's just on the other teams. That, like, this Rokkr team, they've clutched up. You know, they've done what they needed to do. But the play style, it ain't. Anime put it in the chat. You know, it's not sustainable. It won't be consistent. You know, they're 2-0. Shout out to Paul for having a fire map 5, but they got to figure it. They got to figure out these respawns, and you know, I know they beat GentleMates in a close one. They beat another one in a close one here. You know, every it feels like every hard point they win, it's just super close, and they got to figure out these respawns. They'll do good in S&D. They'll straight wins in S&D or whatever like that. But respawns, that's where you're really gonna, you know, we need to see some consistency there.
The fear with having bad KDs is this works against average, middle of the pack, or you know, below average teams. Once you get to that top half of the league, top 4 of the league, there's no chance you're winning anything. And
no,
if you're skimming by hard points like this with negative KD wins, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work out for you in the long run. So yeah, they gotta sit back with their coach, with Danny, with Looney, figure out their mistakes. Again, they're a group of talented guys. There's no 100% Estriel's underperforming compared to what we know he can do. Nero is kind of playing exactly the ups and downs that we know he plays. Paul X is surprising. Geo, I don't really have too much to say about him, but I think they need to sit back, rewatch their hard points for sure, and just figure out how to be in better positions. Because if you're going negative and winning maps, typically it's really about positioning more than everything else. So they got to figure that out quickly before they have a harder schedule in the next coming weeks.
Yeah, my concern is just like they're only getting worse. I mean, I don't mean that like right now necessarily, but I don't think they're gonna get any better with respect to their competition this season, Rokkr. Like I think if you take where they are right now in the standings, it's only going down. It's only going down from here.
Well, peep Rokkr's schedule. Like, look at it.
Yeah.
They got FaZe, New York, Boston, Surge, Miami.
Yeah, they're screwed. That's what I'm saying. Like they got to sit back and get their hard points figured out quickly.
Oh, that's
Oh no. I just lied horrendously.
That's actually even worse.
Yeah,
worse.
no. I just lied horrendously. That's I was on. Bro, I don't even know why it happened. They got New York Thieves. Oh, yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, it's still terrible.
They got New York Thieves, Ultra FaZe. Yeah, they're cooked.
I mean, they could.
But they could.
They could get
But they
four
could
wins
also.
in there.
They could also just scam the fucking wins again. You know what I'm saying?
They
It's
could
not
scam,
impossible.
Yeah, they
Right.
could
It's not
scam some
impossible.
wins.
It's a brutal schedule, but they could scam some S&Ds. Do I see them winning hard points and stuff like that? No, this is the perfect This is the perfect Neslo team. You know, I mean, they kind of suck in control, so it would be like a hard point Neslo. You know what I'm saying? Where they win one hard point, but I would love to see this Rokkr team against the top teams. I don't think they're going to win, but I would love to see this team versus a Royal Ravens. A team that's good in hardpoint versus a team that's winning, scraping by in S&Ds. I would love to see them play each other where, you know, I think Ravens is going to be a very good S&D team, and Rokkr is going to be the S&D team that's going to scrape the S&D wins, but they're just a good S&D team in general. And then I'd love, because in my opinion, Carolina would the way I see it, Carolina is the team. They're not like the top team, but they're a team to beat. And I think Carolina would slam them 3-0 based on what we know about this teams.
My other concern, again, it just highlights a concern that I had about them during our last week's preview, basically the season, is where leadership is going to kick in. Alex is like your most veteran player on this team, and their lack of consistency in hardpoint and even in control is something that I think is a leadership problem as well. It's one of those things where when you have a vet that knows exactly how to be the quote unquote commander on the field, the guy, you know, kind of telling people how to move, and in practice showing people the right ways and the right ways to play the game. I think there's a little bit of a lack of that here. Danny, the coach, Looney can only do so much. It's going to take a lot more time to listen to him rather than being in the game with someone who's kind of directing traffic. That's where I think, again, that big separation between them and the top teams is going to be in that role right there, is who's telling them what to do and who's telling them the right plays on the map. Paulex is great. Paulex is technically an elder in this league, but man, he's had a lot of time being under really great, you know, floor generals and then being in challengers, where it's kind of his point to prove it. Are you that guy or are you not? Someone has to step up.
But they are 2-0, so I gotta respect it. Right now they're 2-0. It is what it is. We gotta just deem them they're 2-0. They're doing good. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they've done well. I mean, it's a good start for sure. It's a good start, and they beat Boston, a team that took down OpTic Gaming. I didn't like. Someone predicted on this show that OpTic were going to win this series. I don't know why, because like Snoopy is the truth. Actually, he had a point on the series. Cobble is back on a new tryout game. Can you believe it? But this was, I mean, I'm not going to lie, if you showed me this scoreboard, you didn't show me the names, I'd be saying this was Sky's, Kismet, Linz, and Priester. You know what I'm saying?
It's just the same shit, you know. Slam map 1, slam map 3. You know, I feel like if you get slammed in control, it's a KD boost.
It is a KD boost, yeah. Dashy 1.3.
And then, I mean, I watched a bit of this series. Like, OpTic got to figure out this S&D situation.
Bro, why are we figuring it out again? This is the same shit every single year. It's the same shit last year. If they keep the same team, it'll be the same shit next year. I know that Kenny had a bad series here, then he had a bad series again a couple of days later, I think. So, actually, he probably didn't, because it was impossible to have a bad series against Cloud9. But this was a notable one. Yeah, look, it's first day of the season. OpTic have lost their opening match for the last couple of years in a row now. Maybe it's not a massive surprise. But Still, losing in this way, both search and destroy is not a great sign of things to come, but I did see a lot of overreaction, I think, immediately after this one.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, we will use the same situation with everyone else. It is the first 2 matches of the weekend, or their first matches of the weekend. But I feel like when it's a team that you've seen play previous years, not a brand new team, and they still have the same issues, that's a problem. That's when you can change the aspect on it. Like, yeah, you know, we always say anyone can beat anyone when it's the first matches, but it's not like people have not been scrimming. People have been scrimming for the last month and a half, 2 months. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they've not got practice. And when it's a team that's, you know, just won champs and they've been together since last year, you know, you've got to think that they'd be more locked in on the S&D aspect of things, you know, when we know how important it is. So that's my take on it.
I know OpTic lost this series, but over the weekend I realized something that we talked about before this game came out, and it's important to highlight that Shotzzy is unbelievable this game. He was one of the guys that everyone was joking around that, you know, in this Black Ops 6 is gonna be, this game was crafted for him. Now the game is out, and I do firmly believe the game was crafted for him. When he's playing, it just looks like he's cerebral on the map. It looks like he knows what's going on at all times. The pace is exactly crafted for him. If I had to make an early prediction, Shotzzy is 100% going to be the MVP of the year. And it's even in his loss. Yeah, they're farming people in control, whatever it may be. In their win too, we'll talk about that in a second, but I just think he looks unbelievable. I think this game is crafted for him, and all those funny predictions and stuff on Twitter that we were talking about before are like coming to fruition. And Shotzzy's gonna be the guy that makes this OpTic team, even with the early struggles, 1 loss, 1 win. He's gonna be the reason why they take tournaments and, I don't know, get back to champs, because I just think he's too good. I think he's better than Hydra. I think he's better than everyone right now.
Shotzzy's definitely a cheat code player right now.
We've just done our predictions for the year on who's going to be MVP, and you didn't say Shotzzy.
I didn't see the first week.
You didn't have to.
I did.
And I saw the first week, and I saw Hydra, and that guy's fucking good.
Oh, that guy is fucking good too. That guy is good too. But Shotzzy's doing this. I don't know. Shotzzy's doing it in a way.
And I don't think Hydra's going to lose to Boston.
Bro, it's week 1, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Shotzzy MVP. You heard it here first.
I think there's like 2 cheat code players, one of which is Hydra, one of which is Shotzzy. FaZe got no cheat code players right now. FaZe are FaZe ain't got one of these boys.
Wait, don't jump ahead, right? We'll get to them because we got some stuff to say about. Yeah, we got some stuff to say about them for sure. So let's not jump too far ahead.
I think what annoys me a bit, I will just share a clip for you guys real quick, because this is Shotzzy in the post game. He said to Puckett or whoever asked him about the quality of their practice, and he basically just said, yeah, practice hasn't been that good. There was another clip, I mean, yeah, this is actually the clip, when he said, if we had to play a tourney tomorrow, we're not winning it. I'm just being honest. So, yeah, fair play from Shotzzy being open like this, but also, I think somewhere veiled in this, there's some level of frustration, where he's like, well, I'm the fucking best player in the game right now. This game is built for me, and yet we're not as good as we could be. And I know it's early days, but again, we're talking about start of the season, and OpTic are like, oh, well, yeah, our practice hasn't been that good. I'm like, all right, you know, could we stop this every year? Why is it the same thing? So I'll play this clip, and then we can talk about it.
I'm curious. You said you guys were getting bad practice leading into the first Boston match. Can you talk about that at all, or you just want to kind of leave that in-house?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I'm open, bro. Like, I don't really care, like, with fucking that stuff. I don't really care because, like, I'm always going to be confident, but just, like, going it, like, for example, if we were to fucking play a tournament tomorrow, like, we're not winning that shit, I'll be honest. Like, we get far. Like, do I want to win? Fuck yeah. But, like, the way that we're, like, you win in your practice. And, like, we're not playing a step ahead. We're, like, second guessing, like, what the fuck we should be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you're like that, it's like, dude.
Yeah, so, look, OpTic are the world champions. We know there's this thing called the Champs Curse. incredibly rarely that a team that wins champs is able to maintain it going into the new season. And then obviously we know the whole Kenny S&D mid-rounding situation. It's certainly not one of his strengths. Kenny's a smart player. He's a veteran. He'll figure it out. They figured it out last year. They'll figure it out again this year. But it might take him a bit of time. So I think it's a bit of a concern for OpTic early days. And of course, the other series they won was server-related drama. So it's kind of difficult to say exactly where they sit right now.
I'm not gonna say, like, again, bad practice early on. You won champs. You know, AG was on a world tour. I saw Ken was somewhere taking Drake type picks and stuff. So like people, you know, you had a good offseason. You had a good time. Coming back into it takes a second. This game is fast paced. It's a different type of pacing than your last game. I don't know. I will say, besides Shotzi, besides him, maybe Dashy, I think, second on that list. But for Ken and AG, I don't know if this game is most perfectly suited for them. Not saying they can't compete, but saying in time, it's going to take them a little more time to adapt to the pacing of this game. Because it's unlike a lot of past CODs where they found success, where Ken has been really good and AG's been really good. So not going to put too much weight on it. But, yeah, I think it's going to take some time for them to just get better, get some good practice in. And, you know, everyone starts to learn how to play the game. It's week 1, so we'll give them. I'm gonna give them a break for now. Team has too much skill.
Yeah, like, you know, it does weigh heavily that it is the first week, so I don't really want to like go in on too many players or like too many teams like that. Like I said, it just for OpTic, it's just one of those things where, you know, it's OpTic. You know, we don't expect, especially where we had Boston ranked. You know, we don't expect them to lose that, and I don't think anyone does. But it happened, and what can you do? Nothing. Just got to play next weekend, and then that's it. You know, go from there. After the match is done, it's over. It's done and dusted.
Yeah, we'll talk about the other game then that they played on the weekend. I mean, I just brought up some search and destroy numbers real quick. Okay, they played a couple of series. It is what it is. Kenny does have a 0.52 in search, which is not ideal. But he at least has a first blood. And Vivid doesn't. Yeah. Is there any other players that has a zero here?
The way he said he has a first blood is, I don't know why that's fucking comedy. He has a first blood and 7 first deaths. I like he didn't acknowledge the second column.
Yeah, he also has a plant. He has 1 plant and 1 defuse. So, you know, Kenny's,
here we go, baby.
Kenny's ready to work, baby.
You're trying to tell me that Kenny's been first blooded 7 times.
Yeah, that's a long
Wait,
time.
Can I organize my first deaths?
Don't let him play a beasy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny's up here with 7 first devs. So is Kleenex and Nasty and Real and Purge and Hydra. That's actually interesting. If you look at the players that get first deaths a lot, Hydra's actually up here. 04's up here. But basically all these guys are aggressive SMGs, right? With the exception maybe of Nasty. Kenny's... Kenny and Nasty maybe somewhat outliers.
Real's had 10 first bloods.
That's kind of crazy, yeah. Real and Abizi were 10. I mean, that's kind of crazy that Abizi's somewhere already at 10. Like,
this guy loves it.
That is insane. Geo and Estriel at 8 apiece is kind of impressive. And Nero, wow. So Estriel, Geo, and Nero all on that Rokkr team. 8,
wait,
8,
no,
7.
switch the thing to the first blood percentage column, because that's like really what.
Oh yeah.
That means everything. It's like how much of the percentage of the time are you actually getting it?
This should be a lot of AR players here. Yeah, Insight, Abuza. King of Body, baby. That's my goat.
Everyone,
King of Body, baby.
Let's go. First blood demon.
Don't count. Cheese.
If I go lowest,
to be fair, yeah, Abizi, cramping, Joe Deceives, man. The aggressive subs are the subs on this list are obviously the more important ones. The ARs, of course, are going to have a better percentage, quote unquote. But seeing the subs that are up there kind of tells you about the quality of it. And Abizi being all the way up there too. That's kind of crazy. That guy's disgusting at search.
Yeah, anyway, those are your stats of the day. But what series are I going to find? This one. Completed series, Cloud9 versus OpTic. So this was a drama-related series. Now, look, Cloud9 got slammed bad. The other day, of course, they played, Toronto earlier in the weekend? They played Thieves, obviously. Yeah, wow. That was honestly kind of better, impressively enough. But they still got 3-1 slammed. Oh, my God. Why am I clicking on the wrong thing again?
You're doing my head in here. You're supposed to be a good producer. Lock it in.
Yeah. They changed the website around. Here we go. This is when they played Thieves. They won the search. The other maps, though, were very ugly. So, to be honest, the OpTic series was no better. Both matches have been pretty abysmal so far. But obviously, there's more to it than meets the eye. As we know, Ace, has been the big server-related drama. Cloud9 playing out of LA this season. And Attach has had quite a lot of words to say. I mean, it kind of started here with Attach tweeting out, hopefully the CDL doesn't make us play on the Chicago server again while we're in Los Angeles. And he also tweeted about the state of the league. He then said, look, I'm not discrediting them. My issue is that there's 6 teams in Texas who don't even have a fair server to play on right now. Hopefully the CDL can figure it out. Then he says, shit, here we go again, because they were playing the same thing against OpTic. They were playing on server B in this analysis with 220 ping between them. OpTic at 80. And, and then they basically were getting told by the league, look, you either play or you forfeit. And they decided to play, and they decided to get slammed. So, obviously, there's been lots of talk about this. There are problems here in the league. Again, we're on year 6, and here we are still talking about online league match server bullshit. But this is Call of Duty, baby.
Yeah, in case people don't, I just want to break it down on a simpler level, even because some people might be not understanding how the servers even generally work. I'm not going to go this, I just want to say this is what it is. They're in LA. People are in Texas. There's different servers, obviously. There's a Texas server, there's a Chicago server, the one they want to play on is the Denver server, okay? And if you go back to the math, the additions ping servers he's talking about, the A is on the Chicago server, I believe. The one that's all messed up is on the Chicago server. And the one that's the fair pings that kind of equal out to 160, 156, that is on the Denver server. So what they're saying is we should play on the Denver one, because then everyone's pinging essentially trash. It's bad for both teams, okay, but at least we're both having issues the same way. But the league, for some reason, prefers to be on the Chicago server, and OpTic, if you're OpTic, you have to agree to switch up to the Denver server, but why would you agree if it gives you an advantage? Just being rational and reasonable, right? It's not like, I don't blame OpTic for not switching either. I don't think it's any bad doing by them or any other team that gets the opportunity to play on the better server. Play on the better server. I think it gives you an obvious advantage. But if I was C9, I'd be losing composure as well. This is one of those things where I think the CDL, it goes back to even last week's conversation about the GA committee. Why they don't have a standardized version of it? Why is there not a standardized, reasonable set of rules when it comes to servers, server allocation, server choices, decisions, to make it the most balanced online match as possible, rather than leaving it up to OpTic to decide whether to make it fair. I don't know how that works. I don't agree with it. And again,
is that what happened though?
I mean, yeah. Anything that I'm missing that you want to fill in?
I mean, wasn't it the league that said they can't play on that server?
Apparently, there's some sort of issue with the server. That's what they've been saying.
Yeah,
It's like
OpTic didn't decide what server they played on. The league can't play on that server for some reason.
From what I hear, that server, because a lot of people tend to lag on that server, is the main issue. So then they switch over to the Chicago one because then it's apparently a little bit better. But
yeah, I mean, what do you want to do about it? I understand C9's frustration, but if you can't play on the server, I don't know what else you can do. Maybe put another server in.
There has to be some. Okay. If you're an international league, even if you're a national league, it's got to be something that's addressed, right?
And let me say this: if that's exactly what the numbers were that Attach is putting up there, then I'm sorry, but the league has to postpone that match or something like that to the point where it's just not fair. If that's what's happened, I'm not gonna lie. To put a team on 140 more combined ping than their other teams, that's just playing at a complete disadvantage, and this whole competitive integrity that they wanna provide, they're just not providing it, and they've just handed a team like C9 a free loss.
The thing is that they then use the ping tool, right, to
But that's where,
equalize
listen,
the
coming from a
pings.
professional player, that's fucking dog shit and it's ass and it don't work.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's just the Denver server is broken, the Salt Lake City server is broken. What is frustrating is why has this seemingly been either discovered now or not tried to be resolved until now? Because if the teams haven't been scrimming on these servers because they're broken, the league must have been aware about it for some time, or they just rocked up to the opening weekend and just hoped the Denver server would magically work, which it didn't. They couldn't use it, and now Cloud9 again screwed over by it, and they're threatening to like forfeit the games and all this stuff. So, you know, how incompetent is this league? The question, I guess, is it the league's fault? Is it Activision's fault, the developers? Why is the server broken? What's going on there? Can they not put it, you know, bring another server online? Surely these discussions that should have been had, 6 weeks ago when the game came out? Rather, apparently we're having these discussions now. And again, there's no transparency at all, is there? Like, we don't hear anything from the CDL on this. They'd prefer to pretend that nothing was going on at all. Whereas, clearly, there's some discussions that need to be had behind the scenes. Otherwise, we're operating in an environment which is simply not fair for the players. So, you know, if you're going to do the league online, which no one wants to do, at least make it work. And we're in year 6 and it still don't bloody work.
I mean, listen, people talk about in the chat, why are we combining pings? All right, even if we don't combine pings, 20 ping versus 55 ping is absurd.
I don't know if you guys are good at math. That's 35 difference. If you guys just 55 minus, just in case any of you guys are shit at math, just do some simple calculations in your head, and you come up with a pretty big difference, actually. I mean, it brings us back to the point of one more point of just like, do we fault C9 at all here for playing out of LA? Because people for years have known that LA is a trash place to play out of. So I'm playing kind of devil's advocate here, but do we hold them accountable as well slightly?
I mean, yeah, because Thieves said to Nature, I ain't playing for your team if you don't move me to Texas. And Nate was like, oh, fuck it, we got to go to Texas.
I don't think they would have done it if GentleMates didn't offer, you know.
You know, I mean, but correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't New York subliners play out of Dallas?
Yes, they did. Yes, indeed, they did.
I mean, they just bought the team, or like they bought the spot from New York subliners and said, nah, fuck it, you go in LA. We ain't making champs. You just come in LA.
They have to share some degree of responsibility here. I mean, it's not really their... What's happening here is not their fault, but you open the door to these problems by playing out of LA. That's just how it is. They shouldn't exist.
Well, everyone knows you need to move to Texas if you want to compete to be the best online. All right, that's everyone but mine. And now I'm not blaming the players. Essentially, they got to sign the contract. You know, they got to go. Like, you know, it's C9. It's a big goal. You got to sign the contract. You got to go. My problem is scrap anything to do with LA or anything like that. We're dealing with a multi-billion-dollar organization, Activision, the CDL. Why the fuck don't we have working servers in an online league? I mean, we can joke about it all we want about, like, you know, them like openly moving to LA, anything like that. It's honestly nothing to do with that. It shouldn't be an issue. They should be able to play from LA with no issues whatsoever. And they can't.
Someone asked a good question. I don't know the answer, but I'm gonna find out unless one of us know. But what server do Vancouver play on? I would assume Chicago as well, but probably, I don't know for sure.
I mean, if none of the, like, did they ever have like a Nevada server somewhere? They probably didn't, huh? I think it's just been Denver and Salt Lake City, so it's got to be Chicago. I don't think there's any.
They're saying LA.
They play LA server? Oh, interesting.
They are West. I mean, that is kind of weird, I guess. I mean, it is kind of weird, but it does make sense. If they're on the West Coast, you kind of got to play that middle ground of LA.
Yeah, and then Toronto tend to play on like an Atlanta server or something.
I mean, someone saying that Trey says you need to be in Texas to compete. I mean, I promise you would notice a big difference in teams that played from Texas. If every team played in Texas, or All right, I guarantee you split Texas and LA in half of like CDL teams that played in Texas and played in LA. I promise you, from someone that's played and lived in Texas and played and lived in LA, there's a big difference.
And as a casual, me as a
That's why we
casual that
employ
has
him.
played in LA and played in Texas, 1,000 up, 1,000 down is a huge difference. I promise you it is. 1,000 up, 1,000 down internet is unbelievable when you play online. Just even playing pubs, even playing ranked play, it's that you could feel the difference of how you're shooting here compared to playing on 15 upload speed, 100 down in LA. It's actually unbelievable.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a terrible situation they're in. I'm not sure how it's going to be resolved because the league moves at a fuck a turtle's pace. That's giving them too much credit. So I don't know. I think that they're just kind of going to have to either eat it up, spark enough outrage, or unfortunately get their way, try to figure out a way to get to Texas. That's the reality. Unfortunately, we live in an ideal world where we can say we hope the CDL does something about it, but that's not reality.
Yeah, this is the issue as well, is like they can't see how good they are really, because they can't scrim properly either, I'd imagine.
It's also going to get toxic.
Yeah, exactly. Even
because now
and
now it's going to be are we getting smoked just because we've got higher ping, or are we ass? And unfortunately, sometimes you might be ass blaming ping.
yeah, it's happened before.
Yeah. It could be the other way around.
But you have that cushion to fall on of that you're on higher ping, so everyone's believing in the team. You ain't ass.
The issue is then you go to the major, you're starting in losers because
but guess what? You can blame. You can blame bad practice because you got bad ping.
I mean, look, you can blame what you want. If you're taking home $0, then like it's time to go.
Listen, if you're living in LA, competing in COD, you gotta have a strong mental. I'll keep it real with you. You gotta lock the fuck in. But I will say, unfortunately, to Cloud9 fans, I do believe this hand on heart. I believe this happens whether they live in Texas or LA. These two matches, the results, I believe this happens both times, regardless wherever they live.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I like this out of trade because a lot of pro players will tell you, ping, it's the biggest thing ever. Ping's a big deal, sure. But from the series I watched, there's more to it than that. I mean, Hydra was running circles around them, and then the second series, of course, against OpTic. Now, obviously, when you look at these series, you got to recognize that because mentally they're compromised, they probably ain't going to play their best stuff. But even then, it wasn't pretty. They looked pretty lost. I mean, actually impressive. They had every player in the .7s. Could be a new CDL record.
Like I said, I'm just saying this right now. I said it before, I said it again, I still don't think this was the right 4 players to play with each other. And I know you're going to disagree, Ace, and that's fine.
Yeah, no, I can't put much merit in it when a guy like, you can talk about the sub duo or whatever you want to say, but I just can't put much merit in something when a guy as talented as Dante, Sib, is dropping .7s and has one of the worst KDs on his team. I just don't find that to be reality. Yeah, it's a different game, whatever it may be.
Fake
that
COD.
guy is way too talented and way too just mechanically gifted and knowledgeable in Call of Duty for that to be reality to me. Sure, yeah, again, anyone else you want to talk about, yeah, say talk your shit, whatever it is, but I'm using that as one of my main proofs here. Again,
I'm also simply agreeing with you that all 4 of these players are talented. Simp, I've got him on my fantasy roster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I believe that he is one of the best, most talented players in the league too. But with the 4 players they have, it's gonna be hard for him. When he had Hydra last year and he had Pred the year before, he ain't got that this year.
This is a weird position to be in, just as someone who watches COD, has to do an analysis of it, but knows the ins and outs as well as you do. It's tough because, again, how much of it is that ping issue? Because, again, if they're complaining to this degree, I'm sure it must be affecting their practice on the daily. And the mental, like you said, is a big, that's a big thing as well.
He's absurd. He's a great player. It's just like I said at the start of the year. I just wouldn't pair these players together. And, you know, I like I said, we're all going to sit here and say it, and I'll say it too. It's 2 matches in. Fuck it. It happens. They might just come out and slam everyone now, and then we eat our words. But this was my prediction before, and I'm seeing it to come into fruition now. And I believe it could keep happening.
The shittiest part about this, though, is that we won't know until then. That's like we can have this disagreement, and we will, of course, that this team is good or bad, whatever it is between this week up until a LAN. But if they go to a major, and then this happens, and they get bopped, then I think then the real conversation can occur there that it could be more than just ping issues or you know, whatever excuse you want to say for any team. LAN is the ultimate equalizer in the final say at all times.
All right,
I mean,
so
we've
like,
already seen
yeah.
it. We've already seen it already. It's on Twitter about the pings already. You know, it's not about we played like shit or anything like that. It's straight ping. It's gonna get toxic.
Yeah, this is always how it goes.
It's gonna get toxic. Let me tell you that. It's gonna go crazy. You know.
Yeah,
I think they're going to learn more next weekend because Rokkr, I mean, where are they based? Do we know?
Texas.
All over the place. Are they all
in one spot?
live over there? Yeah.
Texas, yeah.
Okay, they're in Texas. Ravens, are they still based out of Vincent's Penthouse in North Carolina?
Yeah, no, they might actually have a facility this time. I'll text Lasher to see if he's staying with Brian Say or he's actually got a facility. I'll let you know.
I'm intrigued because if they're based out of North Carolina again, then like they might play their series on a Texas server or something, right? And it might be
it's like those are said in the chat, like it wasn't a proper event and everything like that, but they got double bopped out of the case and event too.
Yeah, that's true. They weren't that competitive,
and they didn't have to fly there either. They were all living in it. They were all living in LA. They weren't jet lagged.
Yeah, this as we said, this weekend is going to be a little bit more of a telling scene because you're playing against guys who you're supposed to beat.
Oh, they should bop these.
Yeah. This is where the reality of the situation comes. We're going to see it. If it's that bad, if all of a sudden Minnesota Rokkr, who haven't been able to put up any numbers in a hard point, are choke slamming them and Estro comes out 1.4, okay, then this ping issue might be ultimately incredibly serious. But
or they just
if they beat
shit, which is the more likely candidate in that situation.
But I'm saying here's the flip side. If they beat both of them with quote unquote ping issue, then there's a conversation to be had of like, oh, maybe you're just not as good as the top teams, right? That's when that's actually probably a worse scenario.
As good as the top teams.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real. They should beat Rokkr purely based on talent. All right, straight up talent.
I'm agreeing with you. Listen, I'm agreeing with you 100%. But I'm saying if they beat both of them, it tells you a lot about the situation.
Listen, it's gonna get toxic. It's gonna get toxic. Also,
the Ravens series is fascinating though.
To Hamsick that said we're saying this is the first team to make a change. I think I was the only one out of these two that said these will make the first change. Yes.
Right.
I think you might be right.
Wait, Syrup sent me a clip. Let me see.
They play FaZe last match at the stage as well.
It's something pretty funny.
Oh, he was it a spawn up clip?
I don't know. He sent me it's straight off Twitch. I'll put it in the chat right now for you.
I did see this. I mean, it's 2 minutes long. I'm going to play the whole thing, but he talks about if I get fined for not wanting to play on 35 plus ping, then so be it. So let's go.
There you go. It's in our chat right now.
Yeah.
All right. I'll play this because it won't be a minute. It won't be 2 minutes long. But yeah, Attach is not the happiest man. Don't blame him. I mean, I'd be molding as well if I was in his shoes. But
yeah, no, I'd be pissed off too. But like, we've got to come to the fine line of, are we as good as we think we are? And we're just getting pissed land by ping, or you know what I'm saying? There's always something.
All right, I'm playing the clip. 2, 1.
You're like, all right. So we're just gonna bend over backwards, do whatever we gotta do for the league, and then just make these other team look like beast. I mean, we're about to play Rokkr next. Rokkr's probably about to look like IW OpTic COD Champs Grand Finals. Geo's gonna be shooting like IW formal. It is what it is. Bunch of beasts all in Texas. So whenever we play Texas teams, just know that
is that it? Like
they're godlike.
No, I've heard what I needed to hear.
Yeah,
the mental's gone.
The mental's gone. That's what I'm saying, Trey. It's gone.
Done.
Shall I play it again? So we could hear the mental be gone in real time. I'm going back to start.
No, it's chalked. It's chalked.
Okay, here we go.
Do whatever we gotta do for the league, and then just make the other team look like beast. I mean, we're about to play Rokkr next. Rokkr's probably about to look like IW OpTic CoD Champs Grand Finals.
Yeah, it's over. I mean, this is the issue. Once you've accepted that is your reality, that's the box you're living in, that you're automatically cooked because they live in Texas.
VAR's come across. VAR's come across, all right? Referee Trey Cartier, Mr. Morris over here, has said it's chalked. You know, he's already come in and said Gio's going to look like IW formal. All right? And it's fucked. It's chalked. We're done. You know?
It's over, yeah.
Because
another failed Cloud9 team.
Because if they do get bopped 3-0, they're already going to sit there and Dill's going to go, fucking called it, didn't I?
Wow, these guys are great. They live in Texas. They're great.
Told you, Gio's IW4 will fucking called it.
I've seen this before. It never ends well, True.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a fan of this clip. I don't like the fact that it only mental chalk there. It seems like an excuse is already present. This is a worrisome clip. I actually agree with you, Trey. This is not the clip you want to see as obviously me as a C9 fan, a huge C9 fan, the biggest one for years.
Oh yeah, that's a good brownie.
It's like me hopping on this show and being like, oh, Rab's not paying me this much this month. Fuck it, and then the show's short. You know, the show's short.
Yeah. And like saying it to your team or whatever is different. Like y'all joking around about it, but he's saying it on live stream. I don't know. I think that puts out a poor message just
but
everyone else in a sense.
He could also be doing the reverse brain, reverse psychology.
Brain.
Gio sat there thinking, fucking hell, it's time to smoke these clowns. They got bad ping. Little do they know, they're about to get fried. Could go either way.
No, I'll just write there in the chat because remember when OpTic said that shit last year?
Yeah.
Bunch of beasts, I think was the exact quote, was it not? Can I maybe find that? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't. I thought Pred said something about it, didn't he?
Shaquille actually, as the stocksman, I must say this. The stocksman in me must bring this up. Rokkr is plus 125 on betting sites. Anyone looking to make some free cash? It actually might be a good shot, Shaquille. I'm not saying I'm betting, but it's a good pickup right there.
Can you still veto servers?
Oh,
I think you can. That's where I heard the thing that OpTic vetoed the server. They vetoed that.
Yeah, so be it.
That's what I'm saying. But any team should rationally veto a trash server. I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I also think if the server doesn't, if there's a server that should be played on where both of them benefit from it, but it can't be played on, then I think the veto should be chalked.
Right, and that's why at the end of the day, for me, it's like there should be some sort of not committee, but a final say.
That's like someone getting like their best map with no vetoes, pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's someone just essentially getting a free veto because they can't even play on that server anyway.
Yeah. No, there should be, again, like I'm saying, there should be some executive action or group or people that decide this is what we pick. This is it. Done. Not like. But in a fair manner. Again, not in a way like, okay, one team clear has an advantage. Run that shit. Like, that's stupid to me.
Harrison put in the chat, who gives a shit about C9? OpTic needed that win. Big up the CDL.
Yeah, well said. I mean, look at this, by the way. I found the tweet. This is back in June.
Bro, it's actually hilarious.
They say the same stuff. Attach is one of the replies. It's about Attach because they played Vegas. And every time, this is like the COD Pro default word choice when they get ping cheese, just to say that the other guys are a bunch of beasts. Yeah, the sarcasm.
These guys have GG's slow guys, they're animals.
Yeah, exactly. And like obviously Pred tweeted this and they got pissed on when they got to the LAN as well. So this is the issue, right? And back then it was Attached, like kind of saying, "Oh, we're better than they think we are." It's not.
I mean,
because they were talking about cheese as well. When ping, it was ping related then, wasn't it? They were saying that like Gio was on some crazy ping.
Over here, we're generational hate watchers.
Oh yeah.
All right. So listen, we're gonna be locked in for this Rokkr and C9 series.
I will be there. I will be there.
Listen, we ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be. Oh, it's Rokkr C. No, it's gonna be Rokkr C9, and we're gonna be. We're locked in. And listen, I expect everyone to be back here on the Monday to discuss it because either me and Rab and Ace will be sat here going with big grins on our, well, not Ace,
Nah,
me
not
and
Ace.
Rab. We're gonna be sat here, massive grins on the faces, going,
cheese and hard.
maybe they're ass. Or we're gonna go, shit, they got ping fucked.
But if they go 0-4, like if they lose both, do we agree that they might be getting ping fucked?
No,
Or
just ass.
is it just
I don't care. I don't care what the results are. My opinion is they're ass.
Because the first 2 teams they played were the top teams. They did lose 2 at the Cason event. If they can't beat bottom teams, maybe
It can't just be ping. That's my opinion. Like if they get bopped by Ravens and Rokkr, it can't just be ping. Like there's gotta be more to it at that point. Honestly, I don't care what the result is. I'm spinning the narrative in my favor. I can take any result and I can spin it.
0-4, I'm here. 0-4, you fucked.
2-2, I'm still here. I'm still making the same take.
2-2, I'm like, all right, maybe they got fucked. 0-4.
Hey, fuck you guys. All right, you guys, man. Damn it. Okay, this is AIDS, man. This is AIDS.
Tell them how to lock in.
This is some good generation hate watch from people that don't have any rings, me included. I like it. I'm in. We're in. We've got more we've peaked more viewers speaking about this than OpTic, and that's a fucking W in my book. On to the next team.
Absolutely. I mean, we've only got a couple more teams to be fair, but
absolutely.
I mean, should we do FaZe before we do Thieves? Probably should, huh?
Yeah. Let's do FaZe.
Yeah.
They played Toronto. That was their first game of the weekend. Map 1, I was like, Jesus, here we go again. Because this was pretty ugly. It wasn't even close from the third half point. FaZe just ran away with it. Toronto got absolutely slammed. But then...
FaZe 0-2.
They lost the search.
I saw ping.
I saw ping. It's honestly kind of wild, though, that FaZe haven't lost 2 series in a row in 2.5 years. The last time that, at least online qualifiers, 2 online qualifiers in a row. That's like absurd. If they ever lose a qualifier, they win the next one. This week, though, they lost this one. Then they played Thieves later in the week. So it's been since middle of Vanguard was the last time they lost 2 online qualifiers in a row. And yeah, I think the control was particularly telling. Draza had a bit of a stinky here. And the Skyline, honestly, was just not even close. Kleenex, massive takeover. Yeah, what an individual performance out of Kleenex and Beans especially. And Toronto, I thought they were going to be the 4th best team. I think they are the pick of the bunch, in my opinion, from the rest of the pack at the moment. Certainly over a team like Cloud9. But FaZe, it's a surprise losing in this way to Toronto in the way that they did. And if they'd have got 3-0'd by Thieves, which it looked like they were going to, then we'd have probably been having even a different convo. But against Thieves, they bounced back. They made it very, very competitive. But even against Thieves, they still lost 2 search and destroys. Like, they've started off the season phase 0-3 in search. And they've usually been the search reapers over the last few years. So maybe getting rid of Tupac Thug Law was a mistake.
Oh, wait a minute.
Nah.
You bring up a good point. Are they cooked by getting rid of the literally the godfather of
Huntsman did it
S&D?
and didn't work out well.
I don't know. My thoughts with FaZe here, I don't know. I'm going to say specifically, like, Simp is starting off real slow. And I didn't expect it to happen in this game. I thought this game he'd be really good at it. Abizi, the pace of this game makes a lot of sense why he's good. It's no shock there. Abizi's very consistent. I thought Simp and him would be literally just like that duo that would be causing havoc continually. And I thought maybe the AR, Celium, and Draws would have a little more of a problem, but I don't know. They're very underwhelming right now. I think they're going to need a little confidence in the coming weeks playing against some lesser teams. Obviously, they got thrown into the pack a little bit playing LAT in Toronto. That's pretty rough after your first, as your first 2 matches. But getting 100-point club with teams you're supposed to be competitive against is embarrassing.
W stat from Twitter as well, saying it was 884 days since they lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Middle of Vanguard, I think. 2
years plus, and then basically 2.5 years, and 2 years since they've been 100-point club. So I don't know. They really need this upcoming week is more what I'm looking at. I'm not going to discuss too much about what's been happening. Let's talk about the future, what's going to happen. We need to see some big bounce backs out of them. Otherwise, put up the caution put up the caution flag, put up the signal, put up the red flag, because it's scary. It's choppy water at that point if they can't pick up some wins here.
And this is where I find that this is where like I compare it to like, you know, a team like, let's take C9 for example with the ping cheese shit. You know what I'm saying? Where we have Atlanta FaZe who are deemed like online warlords, you know. Black what was it? Black fiber, dark fiber, you know, 10,000, and they got bopped. You know what I'm saying? Like it just happens. And FaZe knew they played like ass too, you know, clearly. So, but let's not discredit LA Thieves. Is it FaZe ass or not ass, but like FaZe played slow, or just LA Thieves they just look like they're a team.
They honestly reminded me of like
smiling, having
Major
fun.
One Toronto last year. Scrappy,
Smiling, having fun, and I think Scrappy's a big part of that. I ain't gonna lie. I think Scrappy. I can't call him Scrappy. I think we call him Scrap because you know. But Scrap.
Respect.
Not only is he one of, if not the best AR in the game, but he looks like a fucking fun teammate. If you want me to be real with you. Like, he looks like a fun teammate, always gassing up his teammates, having laughs and stuff like that. They'll lose a round of S&D, and he looks like he's locked in, giving out some like good comms. And then after a map, like it's regardless of anything like that, he's always got a smile on his face. He just looks like a good teammate and just an all-round, like regardless of what people think about him and his personality outside the game, he looks like a fun ass teammate. I'll keep it real with you.
I don't appreciate the hate he gets. It's really weird to me that people have kind of turned on him because he talks too much shit. That's what makes CoD great. Talking shit is like really annoying. It actually bugs me a lot because even when I went to the what was it, the off-season OpTic event. It's not technically not an OpTic event, but you know what I'm talking about, the OpTic event.
Yeah.
When I did a lot of those interviews, a lot of people's most overrated player was Scrappy. Or Scrap, because why? The reason wasn't because he played bad. It's because he talks a lot of shit. He thinks so high and mighty of himself. I don't know. Confidence gets you far, man. If you can back up your confidence, confidence can take you to that next level. If you have the skill and the confidence, that's where you get to that next, like top tier. Kobe, Michael Jordan, Ronaldo. You got to have the combo. Scrap has that to me. So it's almost like he's undeniable and he's confident. He's a fun guy. Again, face of CoD should be the face of CoD. They should build around him. If I was Daniel say, yeah, bro, like he doesn't deserve any of the hate he gets, man. He's really a guy who's just pushing ahead in all realms. So Scrap love 100%. That team is very good, man. That team is top one after weekend one, early predictions, right? Number one in the game. But yeah, that's just early prediction.
I mean, Ball knowers know, like, this team was just not going to be bad. Like, what the hell? You look at this roster, what are we talking about here? The question really is, because for me this week, last year we had 4 best players in the game, and they were across 4 different teams. We had Simp, who won the MVP. We had Hydra, who was on New York. We had Scrap, who was on Toronto. We had Shotzi, who was on OpTic. Those are the 4 best players. Shotzi and Hydra have proven week 1. They haven't got anywhere. They've maybe even elevated compared to where they were last year. But now, Scrap and Hydra, the other 2 guys who just mentioned, they're on the same damn team. And that's a serious problem. That is a serious problem. Especially when Scrappy this series had 13,500 damage. Most damage in the lobby. And he has a 0.95. Like, this is... If you are Thieves, you're looking at this scoreboard and you're thinking, this is just sensational. And if you're Scrappy, you're thinking this is sensational. Like, he's dropped a 0.95 here, Scrap. But he's still just... All he's done is pump out the damage. And the rest of his team have just handled business. Envoy was on fire this series, which is very impressive, but also incredibly scary, because I think Envoy was the one player that OpTic fans and FaZe fans were looking at on the Thieves team and saying, all right, you know, Envoy, maybe a bit of a weak link there. He wasn't as strong last year, which is true, sure. But Envoy, you know, back in Cold War was incredible. And just seems like the better his team gets, the better that he seems to be individually. And Ghosty, I mean, like, what can you not say about this team right now? So the map 4 was kind of incredible. What amazed me about this map, I think, is that it felt like FaZe were just playing better CoD at this point in the series, which they were. But Thieves just seemed to be almost impossible to beat. And map 1, I don't think I've ever seen FaZe get handled like that. I mean, what is this? It was just perfect CoD from Thieves. And I just worry about FaZe a little bit because, as I've said, you've got Hydra and Scrap on one Thieves team. You've got Shotzzy on OpTic. And Simp's going 11 in 24. It's early days, but Simp needs to be at the caliber of those players I've just mentioned, if not better, if FaZe are going to try and win again this year. And, early signs are pointing towards it.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about FaZe as a team. I'm concerned about Simp as a player. That's really all it is. Like, I'm not. No, wait. I don't mean as a player in the realm, the general sense. As a player right now, can he find his footing quickly? Because if you start to lose a few of these and start to roll up and you lose to a bad team, you get upset or shocked. We talk about confidence with C9. FaZe is also, a confidence-based team. They've had spurts where you could tell their confidence is lacking, and they suddenly can't close out. They're suddenly losing games like rounds and maps they shouldn't lose. And if your best player, the guy who's Mr. MVP, reigning MVP, is not dominating the way he does, and it almost looks like a shell of himself at this second, that's one of those things you need to turn around fast, really, really fast.
Yeah, I just think I've got no doubts in this FaZe team bouncing back. Even the players like Simp too. We've seen Simp we've seen him have bad matches and then come back and just show why he's the GOAT again. You know what I'm saying? We've also seen him go 2-0 down in a series whilst he's dropping like a 0.7, and then the next 3 maps he's like prime Kobe. I think when it comes down to players like that, you just ain't got to worry about him. He's just going to show you how good he is in the next time he plays. I think that's what I think we just got to give a lot of credit to LA Thieves for these matches and how they've made players like Simp drop these numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's more of a showing from them than anything else. We know how good Simp is, but like this LA Thieves team, they look like a team. And this is what I keep trying to say. Like, they look like they want to play with each other every time you look at their cameras. It looks like they've handpicked these players and was like, yeah, this is the 4 we need.
If this boy Envoy keeps playing like this, if he keeps playing like this, hey, yo, League, wrap it up. Thieves taking the chip. They taking multiple chips. Guacamole 7-layer dip on their chip. Envoy, yeah, you're definitely my player of the week just because I know there's a lot of pressure on him to perform on this team. Not only like you were saying earlier, but like everyone's looking at him. All eyes on him to play badly. All eyes on him to be the one to mess up this LA Thieves experiment. And yet he comes out looking like their best player in this series. So Envoy, big ups to him. If he can continue this, LA Thieves are going to win the chip. I know it's big talk early on, but like if he keeps this up and with these 3 guys around him and he's not any type of liability like people thought, it's over. League is done. GG's.
I mean, let's also not forget that this guy was literally supposed to be like the prodigy to Scump. Like he was literally he was cool.
The Prince.
He was called the Prince. Like,
Prince.
Whilst he was teaming with Scump. Like it's the same way people forget about a lot of people. You can have bad showings and everything like that. And even last year he had a really bad stint at those hard points. I think it was like 10 hard points where he just had a stinker. But if it goes to show that he done that with Scrap on his team and Scrap brought him along with him, that shows how good he is of a player if someone like Scrap wants to take you along from an old team. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like people got to look at it that way too.
No, that's a telling sign completely because I mean Scrap, if not the best, one of the top 3. It's pretty much undebatable at that point. Top 3 player in the league. If he says duo with me, he could have said it to Kleenex. Instead, he said it to him. That should tell you a lot about what he's thinking and the quality of player that Envoy is. But it's great to see him not fold, dominate, and find his footing finally after a year that seemed like it could have been a fall off year in general, like we've seen with a lot of great players.
I'll say a couple of things on this team. Firstly, I think they're the most motivated team in the league to succeed. I think FaZe won the World Cup. They know what their roster's capable of, but I don't get the same like feeling of the fire under FaZe that you get from the Thieves guys. I think they know that they were very fortunate in many respects to have this roster put together. Nature as well is just a great owner and guy to play for. Like, he's with the team a lot. He inspires the team a lot. He took a $200,000 pay cut to make this roster happen. Like, they want to win for Nature in the same way that Thieves teams in the past have wanted to win for Nature as well. I think that's relevant to this situation because they know that they wouldn't have been able to form this team and they'd have still been elsewhere had it not been for him actually making this happen. And they just seem like a squad who has massive motivation on an individual level. Sure, Envoy's a world champion, but Ghosty isn't. Ghosty's not won anything so far. Scrappy has this reputation among, making finals and getting slammed. Hydra's a single world champion. Obviously, Scrappy's not won a world championship yet. Hydra has, but Hydra made it clear in the Dereel podcast that we did on the Breaking Point channel a few months ago that he's trying to win 4 championship rings. Like, he's not got time to waste. So I think those Thieves boys are just more motivated than any other team. The other point is, can they maintain it? Right now, they're the best team. Shotzi made it very clear the other day that they're the best team by a margin, is his opinion. And if there was a minor or a major tomorrow, Thieves would be the team walking away, 80% likelihood, I'd say. Can they maintain it? Because as I think it was N Quinn 93 said in the chat a few minutes ago, yeah, Toronto looked the same at the start of last year, but they couldn't maintain it. I think this Thieves team is different, though, personally.
Yeah, it's different, and you got to think 2 of Toronto's best maps from last year, a Major 1, got taken out after Major 1.
Also true, Skid Row, yeah.
And the guns changed. Keep that in mind,
the
too.
spawns changed.
Spawns changed, guns changed, maps changed.
Now we can have the same conversation if they win Major 1 and the same thing happens, and we could be like, shit, But that's what determines the best from the best. Like, expanding onto Rab's point about them being the most motivated, Scrap, he needs to win his ring so he can talk more shit. That's one thing that he needs to do. That's on his mind. And I think Scrap's more pissed off about, he hasn't had the greatest finals appearances in terms of how he's played in those. And then you got Hydra, who he's just locked in. He just wants to win. And then, Ghosty. We weren't even looking at like that LA Thieves team last year with Nasty and stuff like that. And then Ghosty comes along and just proves why he should be on a top roster, along with Envoy, who used to be called, everyone forgot about him for a few years, and he comes back, and that's how he's playing. But we've also got to look at the fact that it is the first 2 days. The first weekend, the first 2 matches, but this LA Thieves team is a serious team, such a serious team. And
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if I'm any team in the league right now, I'm scared to play them.
I have 2 points I just want to before we close up LA Thieves. One, it seems like every other team so far, like as we've been discussing them, I've kind of come to the conclusion that every other team is compromised. It's like there's something already kind of worrisome for them, or there's an excuse being built up, like, oh yeah, Simp hasn't been performing just yet. Oh, it's the servers. Oh, it's this. Oh, this and that. We have a tough schedule. It seems like something is brewing up there. Besides for like them and Rokkr, because I don't know, Rokkr got blessed with just their random hardpoint wins and negative KDs. I don't know. The second thing I want to show love to, I just want to show love specifically to Sender. Because, the coaches kind of get lost in the sauce once in a while. But that guy is one of the most thoughtful, introspective, caring coaches. Cares about the game, sits there, explains everything, will watch VODs extra time. A lot of coaches in the CDL and CWL era will do so just for a paycheck, just to have a position in the league, have some importance, but they don't actually do anything. Sender and Shane, man, those 2 guys combo care a lot about the game. And I think when you have 4 guys who love the game and are young, talented players with 2 coaches that are hungry, caring, and put the time in. Like, what else? Like, what gap is there to fill? What crack is there in the barrel? There's nothing.
I think that's my point on this team as well, Ace. Like, I think you kind of nailed it, which is incredible, but I think you're pretty close because you look at the other teams over the last couple of years and there are weaknesses there. Like, you look at FaZe, they came top 6 of the World Championship. There are questions on Senlium's playstyle at times. Also questions on how long Simp and Abizi and Cell can just keep teaming together and seeing some success. There's a debate on that because you just don't see duos or trios last that long and it being maintained. Sometimes for outer game reasons as well. You see OpTic, we know they've got their weaknesses. Like last season, they were 3rd in the regular season standings. But when they played their best stuff, they were the best team in the game. Major 3, Champs being the examples. Obviously, their search and destroy has been a problem at times. I don't want to exactly say excuses, but we know what happened at Major 4 last year when they were, obviously, they thought they were better than they were, but obviously they'd fallen off to some extent. Now, with Thieves, we don't know what their weaknesses are because we haven't seen any yet, but it may just be that there isn't any. Like, that's also possible. There will be something. Like, they will have their slumps. I mean, it is what it is. It's competitive CoD, it's sports. But, like, you look at everything from top to bottom, and, I mean, even the coaching stuff, as you say, it's like, we haven't yet seen a weakness, and it may be because, like, it doesn't exist.
Rab, that was incredible that you really almost nailed it. That was really incredible that you almost nailed it there.
Appreciate it.
No, I'm saying, like, it's going to take, like, 2 more weeks, but if they dominate for 2 more weeks, I think this is kind of a crazy thing to say, but it could be a flipping of the guard, as they say. FaZe has been the online Reapers for years, has run the league for years, as they say. It could be the time finally where you have a team that's ready to be the ones with the best record, the best kind of full CDL year, a new dynasty, a new, you know, a new creation of the league, a new top dog. So, you know, give it a couple more weeks and we could be saying now it's full on 100% certainty. Right now, I think we're pretty set at like 85% just on the visuals, just on the first week, just on the coaching staff, the support from the organization. There's not really any weakness for this Thieves roster at all.
All right, enough glazing because we're 2 matches in.
No. What do you mean? Let's talk about. Should we talk about Toronto then? We only have what, Toronto and.
We pretty much talked about all the teams, to be fair.
Listen, we can't overglaze. We can't overglaze.
That's true. I mean,
because once we start overglazing, we're fucked.
That's true. That's true.
None of that.
Yeah, no, we don't glaze on this show. You guys are good. You guys are good, but we're waiting for you to fuck up. Trust me.
Yeah, we'll be there.
This ain't called dope check. This is called the hate watch, and we're here for it. All right.
Yeah. Your team is good. Yeah, your team rotates. Yeah, your team's good looking. Yeah, Sender and Shane are championship coaches. But the moment you slip up, you rat bastards, we're gonna catch you. We're gonna see it. All right.
Hey, don't you fuck up in finals? Let me tell you, because we on that. We on that ass. We got fucked.
No, I agree. You don't want to be too premature here, but like this is the reason why going into the season, I made it pretty clear that this is the most exciting roster that has been formed in the CDL. Yeah, like over the last 6 years, this is the most interesting and like it's the most interesting roster to watch that's been formed. And if there was ever a time for, as you said, Ace, the guards to change, because in the last 5 years of the league, FaZe haven't always won champs. In fact, they rarely have. They haven't really won that many events. But it's always been like the FaZe era, right? Like FaZe are always the team that you need to beat. Every single online match, FaZe are always the team with the highest percentage chance to win. It's been like that. That's been a staple for the last 5 years of CoD. You know, this is the team that gives it a possibility to change that around. It's not like FaZe are going anywhere. It's not like OpTic are going anywhere. But, you know, if Thieves can usurp them as effectively the team to beat, that would be something we haven't really seen in a long time. But, yeah, obviously it's very early, but it's exciting for the league, I think. And also the series was a banger, right? Like, I was actually kind of concerned. After they went up 2-0 in the control, Thieves, I was like, wow. And I genuinely think Thieves, their weakness is, to be fair, this is a weakness. they have a tendency to get overconfident because we saw it in this series. They thought they won this for sure. Scrappy was convinced they'd already won this series. When they went up in the control, they were convinced it was a done deal. They took their foot off the gas a little bit, and all of a sudden, FaZe brought it back. They won game 3, they won the game 4, they could have won game 5. So, you know, they do have to watch out for that. But equally, I think the coaching staff they have, the players they have, I don't expect that's going to be an issue on LAN. And confidence is always a good thing as well. So I think that's kind of the scary thing, that this series, if it was a 3-0, I'd have been like, Jesus, we might have a 1-team league. Like, we thought we had a 3-team league. Last year we had a 4-team league. This year a 3-team league. We might have a 1-team league if Thieves are playing like this. But thankfully we don't.
Trials can't beat Scrap.
Trials can't beat Scrap either. 11-3.
That's it. 11-3. You gotta think.
Gotta think, it's bad.
You gotta think. We're generational hate watching over Trials. That's bad. Bad.
All right, we will talk about Toronto because we haven't really discussed them.
It's our last.
We didn't cover them crazy, yeah, but
we can touch on them real
last
quick.
team we gotta talk about.
Just because what's interesting
Benjamin Beans
to me,
is the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, we honestly need to.
How did we go from
more.
generational hate to the generational Glazer? You swapped out fast.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
from the UK.
yeah,
You just gotta
so-
deal with it. I ain't gonna lie, you just gotta
Yeah.
deal with that one.
Yeah,
That
just
was
how it
crazy. Dick
is.
suck cheese.
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, to
Crazy
be
dick suck cheese.
fair,
Fast ass dick suck cheese. Oh my god.
Beans is frying, but Kleenex has been their standout. Really, he's got a
Nah,
97
Beans.
slayer rate so far.
Oh, hell,
Beans. No, I was so impressed by Beans. Honestly, what I find interesting about this team is that when I look at the roster, Kleenex and Insight, we know what they can do as a duo. Beans, like, is he quite scrap? Probably not. Is Joe Deceives going to play? Is Joe Deceives going to be a better player this year for them than Envoy was last year? That actually is possible. Envoy's a better player, in my opinion, but last year, for whatever reason on that team, Envoy wasn't having the best time. And Joe Deceives could feasibly do a better job than that this year. And if that's true, this year's Toronto could actually be a better team than last year's Toronto. Whether they're going to win an event like they did at Major 1, but they could be more competitive down the stretch, this Toronto, than last year's, in my opinion.
I have like a weird take, and I don't know if you like. I'm trying to find a way to describe it without it coming off wrong. I just think Kleenex and Joe Deceives might work better than Kleenex and Envoy, because Envoy needs the player like. And this isn't me saying Kleenex is bad or anything like this. I just think Kleenex is like a very fast player, a super fast player. And I think Hydra is better than Kleenex in terms of getting the kills whilst being fast. And I think that benefits Envoy playing with Hydra a bit more because it allows Envoy to go around the map and be Envoy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that kind of makes sense to you guys.
I think you're exactly right, actually. I think Envoy thrives playing with an SMG like a Scump or a Hydra or someone like that.
I think they needed to split to match each other better. Now I think Kleenex is going to be better than he was last year. I think Envoy couldn't play with Kleenex properly, and I think, you know, I think vice versa. Now I think they're both on different teams. I think we'll see them both shine again.
Yeah, I actually fully agree with that take. I think that it's a mismatch of styles of players. In this game, I think Kleenex and Joe Deceives, I think this game for those two, the pacing of it, they're two very good gun skill mechanical subs. Joe Deceives is Joe Deceives is the, if you want to talk about like one of the best rookies the last few years, one of the best guys who came up really, really fast. Guy was just a ranked play grinder a couple years ago who was just top 250 guy that people thought was cheating. This guy's had a great run, and his development as a player is probably one of the few in the last few years that's like commendable. So seeing him being paired with a guy that kind of matches and complements him so good in a game that matches, that like rewards this play style, I think, you know, the dangerous duo, one of the best sub duos. It's up there, man. It's top 3 right now. Maybe might move up to top 2, top 1.
Yeah, Envoy and Scump, like, it wasn't as good in Cold War, but in the Huntsman days in MW19, Envoy and Scump, I thought, did very well. And Envoy and Scump were the best duo in Cold War, but also then Scump's playstyle was a little bit different to how it used to be. Hydra's a different player than Scump was then, I would say.
I mean, 5v5, I ain't going to take serious, to be honest
that's
with you.
also probably fair.
But in Cold War, they weren't the greatest. You are right, they weren't.
But Envoy played with, I mean, who was his sub duo in I guess Kenny, right? Like when Kenny ran the sub in Vanguard. So it's kind of like I do kind of I feel like a superstar SMG Envoy works perfectly with, as long as like a BZ is as similar to Kleenex as you're going to find, and a BZ and Envoy doesn't strike me as it would work as well as even like Simp Envoy. See what I'm saying?
I think it's also just a big, like, you know, some players just don't work well together. Like, regardless of how good they are, some people just don't work well together. And we might see some issues in the future where Envoy and Hydra don't work that well together. But, you know, right now, it just looks like it's moving fluidly. You know, the Toronto team, I said they were going to have a slow start. My apologies. You proved me wrong. You look great. You look great. I'm still a bit scared about how they're gonna move around the map in the future with their pacing. But you know, as we see it is right now, but from what the chat's saying, Joe DeC, Kleenex said Joe DeC's is faster than him, which I don't fucking believe, by the way. Jesus could tell me that and I wouldn't fucking believe him. All right, I'm just letting you know that right now. There is no way Joe DeC is faster than Kleenex. I refuse to believe it. It's just they are fast players together. I just, you know, I'm excited to see how well it can work in the next month or so. You know what I'm saying? When teams get to know about how more teams play and stuff like that in actual matches, and because matches play slower in general, so it actually might benefit them too.
Yeah, Magic Artistry makes an interesting point as well about, like, I guess it's the other thing we didn't really talk about Thieves is Ghosty's comms and that leadership that can potentially free up players. And like if Envoy had to do a large part of that for Toronto, you can see what might benefit him leaving. So obviously that's a question for how Toronto manage that themselves. But equally, I think with Beans instead of Scrappy, there's a chance that Insight is better this year, that Kleenex is better this year. It's like, as much as I rate Beans, it's unlikely he's ever going to be able to have the impact that Scrap had last year. But if he can get 95% of the way there, 90% of the way there, Toronto can be like a serious threat this year, I think. And their search has been good. I mean, they beat Surge in 5. It was a 6-5 banger final map here, so it's not like they're infallible. But they've got strength and depth here, this team.
I mean, Hixie had a generational this one too. You know, he played very well this series.
Exactly. This is the thing. Like, how often are you going to get... Obviously, you can also argue, yeah, you're not going to get a 0.8 out of a boozer every so often. But still, I wasn't expecting Hixie to come in and drop, you know, 1.13. You've got to capitalize on that if you're Surge. Obviously, Hixie knows these guys.
Another guy with a lot of pressure on his shoulders, you know. A lot of people expecting him to play poorly. A lot of guys expecting him to not just to be the glue man. Again, we talked about before, the glue man, just to be the guy that kind of fills the gaps, but instead he's taking a leading role, slaying, disproving the haters. I love to see that out of guys, even though they didn't come out with the win. I still think there's some positive notes for sounds so weird to call him Vancouver, but for Surge after this weekend, there's some highlights for sure. And I think they're in a good place. They look like a good team. They're composed. Boozer needs to step it up, but I'm a fan of both of these teams and really excited to see Toronto continue and Surge continue into the coming weeks.
Hey, just a quick shout out to Scrap for being real, because I said this shit too. Skyline, it just came out on Spawn Up. There's a video. I'll put it in here, but Scrap saying Skyline is the worst map for everything. It's the most uncompetitive map of all time. And I agree. There's a door that allows you to go underground that can be closed.
That is very cheese.
Yeah. I didn't know until this weekend that there was that underground like vent area. I said, "What the fuck is this?"
He said it's fun to watch, but to play, which happens a lot of the time in CoD, it happens a lot.
All right, let's listen to this real quick from Scrap.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Probably gonna say something you guys might not like, but Skyline's probably the most uncompetitive S&D map I've ever played. It's fun to watch, but as a player, it's the most uncompetitive map ever. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I would say probably Skyline's the worst map for everything. HP, like I said, HP is very fun to watch on this map, but competitive, Not so much. Like red card's actually pretty decent. I would say red card's probably the first or second best HP map. Red card is as John, I promise you, as a competitive map, and like it's not. It's boring to watch for some people, but it's definitely not the worst.
Yeah, so there we have it, right? I honestly,
Ask the question though. Why do you think red card? Yeah, why do you think red card is the best competitive map for Hardpoint? Because it's not the size of my pinky finger.
Yeah, I was about to say spawns, right?
It's a good size map with
plays at a lot of
pace.
Sense. Like that's the thing. Red card's interesting like that because there's still a lot of gunfights, but because it's large, the spawns actually
it punishes you for going 4 dead.
This is the thing. Like, they're not going to remove red card.
But it ain't slow though.
Yeah.
It's still a bit pacey, but it's just big enough to where it actually makes sense.
No, in my head, it's a lot of hills in this map, in this game, have like 5 ways you can get, like 5 entryways you can get shot from, and that loses all competitive nature to it. It's one of the things that like bugs me when I watch this game. Yeah, it's fun because it's unpredictable, but it's also lacks competitiveness. The respawn delay problem, I do think I agree with some of the pros who said they should add an extra second to the delay because just to maybe slow down the pace. As a viewer, I don't want to say that, but as a competitor, I can completely understand where they're coming from to make the game more consistent, more reliable, and not make it so unpredictable. You need to have at least something to slow down and credit people for getting the 4 downs as Trey's talking about. So, yeah, man, the game. I hope they make some updates on some of these maps to make it a little bit better because there should never be a point where you have to guard 5 ways to break 1 hill. That doesn't make any sense.
We've got Shaquille Oatmeal saying red card is one-dimensional. ARs push top windows and subs try to get control of mid staircase. It's not a good map. That's the reason why it is a good map.
Yeah, I was like, bro, that's exactly what is consistency. That's what I'm referring to right now. What Trey's trying to say. That's what Scrap's saying. That predictability of how the game flows is what makes good maps good maps. The alternative is randomness. Randomness and uncertainty are not good maps.
Head bash does not make it a good map. It makes it fun to watch. That's what Scrap's saying, you know. A Skyline, dolphin diving out of windows into the pool. Yeah, it's cool. It don't mean it's good.
Yeah, in our 1v1, we played Skyline Hardpoint. Ace beat me on it, so I already knew right then this shit was not competitive. Like,
one-dimensional maps like that are historically considered bad maps. That is not true. Raid, Standoff, all these old classic maps had sub routes. Raid, P1, where do people go? Top window and both top windows and on the truck. And then guess where the subs went? The subs went inside the hill. You know, pool side, you know, where did they go? They went in the top pool. They went in money, you know what I'm saying? Where the ARs would usually be. That's what makes these maps so fucking good.
It's actually a good point. Like sub routes has kind of disappeared as a concept. Like,
yeah, bro. that's what made bro. Look at Rambo, for example. Like Rambo wasn't a shooter. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't like Hydra level shooting. But the reason he was so good is because he was taking those routes. You know, and that's what people missed out on. You can't take those routes anymore because everything's so fucking open.
Nowadays, you just bang out the hill. You just send it.
Even a more modern example too. You can talk about like bocage and stuff too. It's predictable routes. There's the lanes. You know where someone's gonna be. Some guy's gonna be on the tank fighting the guy on the other tank or on the heady. Every heady has a counter. The ways to get into the house. Unless someone takes a Shotzi route, jumps up, hops into the window. You know where they're coming from, and you can defend the areas that people run in from. Like don't say that unpredictability is good. It's not good.
And this is why a lot of these maps will suck because. Let's go back to Skyline, for example. Let's take P1, for example. There's no route to take. You got to spawn up, hit something that someone's holding. You got to spawn, hit, spawn, hit, spawn, hit. You can't take a long route. Why? Because the map's about the size of a fucking Pepsi can. There's no long route. It don't exist. You can watch every route from one spot. That's why it sucks. You know, and I could talk about this for every map possible. Why is red card a good map? Because guess what? If you need to go flank something, there's the outside of the map where no one can fucking see you unless they're holding it, which the map's pretty big, so you can't do that. Sorry, I'm cooking.
Nah, he did cook that, to be fair.
That's why I'm staying quiet. Like, you're cooking, bro. I'm going to let you rock right now. Handle your business.
That's why I pay you the big bucks.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been going 2 hours, 33 minutes on the live broadcast. It's probably about time to bring the show to the end because we're going to be back in a couple of days' time. There are more CDL matches coming up this weekend. You know what? The final thing that I will do for you guys before we close out the video and the podcast are the current CDL standings. Here we go. After week 1, it is the Carolina Royal Ravens, of which TraceZero's honorary Hall of Famer, MVP, greatest to ever do it for the franchise. They're opening up hot with a 2-0 start, 6 map wins, 2 map losses. Toronto, Thieves, and Rokkr, those are your only 4 teams still undefeated in the league. That may well end next weekend.
I'm on a generational hate watch for Royal Ravens. Just because of that stat. I hope Gwyn gets dropped.
We need to keep that number actually.
We need, I need to be the greatest Royal Ravens player to ever exist and play like for 1.5 years. Okay, it's what needs to happen.
Actually, okay, do I want 13 more series? So like,
do I want Gwyn to get dropped? No. Like, actually, do I want him to get dropped? No. Do I want him to get dropped from our record? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm still running the show over there, ladies and gentlemen. All right. I'm on a generational hate watch. I hope they lose every match from now on.
There's a good chance as well that franchise gets sold after this year. So like, if they end this year and you're still number 1, you're number 1 all the time.
Listen, he's got 13 more series to not piss me off.
Listen. Unless he breaks your record, every show I'm introducing you as the winningest Royal Ravens player of all time. Until it happens, okay?
I've got a T-shirt somewhere too, with the old red logo.
There it is, the OG times. Man.
Heretics, OpTic, Surge, Boston, all at 1-1, and then your 0-2 teams. I mean, Falcons, maybe no surprise, but FaZe, New York, and Gorillas, not exactly the teams I expected to see down there. But that is your first weekend of the CDL. Gentlemen, thanks all for watching, by the way. Obviously live on Twitch and on TikTok. Ace did his best. He got us some cash at the start of the stream. It was massively appreciated.
Thank you for the galaxy. Spin, spin, spin. Spin, spin, spin. Y'all know what's up, man.
I hope there's people looking over at him right now. I can feel it.
Yo, I hope that internet cafe just bans you like the boss. Like, yo, this guy's on.
Someone's coming over.
I've been loud though. I've definitely been loud, but no, it's been a great show. Been a good time. I'm happy the CDL's back. Again, everyone on TikTok watching, if you guys want more of my spin, or thank you for the roses, let us know. Keep gifting, and I'll be the one especially focused on you guys. Don't worry. While these frauds talk about CDL, I'll be NPC dancing for you guys. No problem.
Thanks for the ice cream.
But yeah, if I can I close out the show, Rap? Is it about time?
Absolutely, it's that time.
We appreciate you guys so much for watching week after week. The CDL is back Friday. I believe we'll be back on Friday for a little pre CDL matches, little preview. We'll probably watch one of the first 2 maps or 3 with you guys and do a little pre-show for you on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, of course, to the Breaking Point YouTube channel from Rab, myself, and the winningest Royal Ravens player in history, TraceZero. We're out. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.